The views and opinions on this broadcast are those of wearecolerain.com. They do not reflect those of Colerain football, Colerain High School, or the Northwest School District. Enjoy the game.
Welcome to Balaban Field on the campus of St. Xavier High School for Ohio High School Athletic Association football playoff action. This is Chris Simonitis along with Brian and Brandon Wyatt of wearecolerain.com, bringing you tonight's live second round playoff action between your Colerain Cardinals and the Milford Eagles of the ECC. It is a beautiful night here in Southwest Ohio and on the campus of St. Xavier University. I say university because the facilities are unbelievable here, and they have been more than generous in opening up their wonderful facilities here and giving us a first-rate place to play. So we're very excited to be here at St. Xavier High School, mainly because, fellas, it means we get to play in the second round.
Yeah, anytime that we'll give up. We are the home team. It feels kind of weird. We play X, and then we come back, and now we're the home team in their box. But you're exactly right. If you're playing in after week 10, you're playing in somebody else's sandbox. So
that's exactly right, and we're excited to be here. And tonight the Cardinals are going to be going up against a bit of a surprise opponent, the Milford Eagles, 9-2 overall, 6-1 in the ECC. For those of you old-timers, remember when Milford was a part of the Greater Miami Conference before they left to, and correct me if I'm wrong, did they leave to go to the ECC or did they actually go to the FAVC first? Do you remember, Brandon?
I believe it was the FAVC.
I think they went to the Fort Ancient Valley Conference first and then moved to the ECC, but either way, the last time we played the Milford Eagles, it was well over a decade ago, and the games were a little bit different back then, but I will tell you that last week the Milford Eagles kind of stunned, certainly the state, and even the city.
Down
35,
21 points.
Yeah, they were down 35-7, I think, at one point to Fairfield, who we'd seen before, and then mounted an unbelievable second-half comeback to win that game 39-35. We got about 7 minutes to kick off here. We'll give you a little bit of a preview. First and foremost, some housekeeping items. One, Colerain did win the toss, and they elected to defer. This is like 7 or 8 games in a row we talked about pregame that they seem to win the toss, and of course they elected to defer, as they usually do, because they want the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, Colerain's relying heavily. They're going to score, but they're relying heavily week after week into this defense. It's going to be tense tonight. Kind of interesting that you're giving one of the most explosive offenses we've seen this year, the ball first. As you said, Colerain is a defensive first team. We're going to score our points, but it's all about field position. And so far, it's worked out, deferring to the second half.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about some of these players whose names you're going to hear tonight for Milford. Now, again, Milford 9-2, 6-1 in their conference. They've got some good wins on the season. Of course, their biggest was last week over Fairfield. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball because that's really where their star power is, and it all starts with the junior quarterback, Hunter Johnson. Hunter Johnson has over 2,500 yards passing on the season. That's right, 2,500 yards and 24 touchdowns. Now, a caveat to that, it does come with 16 interceptions. And then the running back, the ECC Player of the Year, Cameron Kells. Small fella, diminutive in size, but 1,600 yards rushing. So Cameron Kells and Hunter Johnson big, getting their offense going. And, of course, they've got a slot receiver and a wideout, Jake Ayler and Dylan Hughes, also both seniors who are a big part of this Milford offense.
And you can't leave out the guy who stands out amongst everybody out there, the 6'8" tight end going to Notre Dame. Northwestern. 6'8", 260 pounds. Just a monster out there. But go ahead.
It's going to be really a battle for him because you got to think someone with that talent level on the field for Milford against this Colerain offense. I wouldn't be surprised to see him line up at defensive end, try to get at the Colerain offense from the other side of the ball.
And that's number 85, Connor Foster, and he is listed as a defensive end, tight end on the roster. Again, you're right, Brian, 6'8", 285 pounds. Defensively, let's talk a little bit about. Interestingly, want to throw this out there real quick. This team, and correct me if I'm wrong, folks, if you know differently, they do not attempt field goals.
They have not attempted a field goal all year.
Yeah, we talked to one of their information director. They have missed 3 extra points. They have actually a female kicker, Grace Ertl, a converted soccer player. She's full-time football, but they score so often, they don't go for field goals. They trust in that offense,
Yep, absolutely. So let's talk about some of these guys. Starting at defensive end for Milford is the aforementioned Connor Foster. So we're definitely going to see him in the game. Another name you're going to hear, I think, a little bit of is defensive tackle Brian Stevens and will linebacker Hayden Johnson. These are other names that are real important, and also at corner Owen Martin. So those are the guys that you want to keep a name out for. Obviously, it's the usual suspects for the Colerain Cardinals on offense and defense. And tonight, fellas, really the key is going to be, let's see how our team handles a high-powered passing offense. Really the best one we've seen all year.
Well, it's a more diversified offense that we've seen. We saw Fairfield, but they were run first pretty much.
Yep.
Quarterback's going to throw every now and then. This is pretty much, as much as they like to run the ball, we're going to see the ball flying tonight. This might be our longest in time span because the clock won't stop. But he throws to 7-8 different receivers. It is, and tell you what, it's a system brought in by a coach who I think is a pretty recognizable name here in the city. Why don't you talk about their coach?
No question. Head coach for the Milford Eagles is Tom Grippa, his second year at Milford, and of course he kind of rose to fame as a head coach at Elder back in, I want to say it was probably the 80s, late 80s, early 90s, where he started there and moved on to have all other successful careers at Fairfield, at LaSalle. I don't think necessarily in that order, but he's been around, even taught at Colerain, I think, for a year or two. And
not just a year or two. We're talking about a year or two, like
a few years ago.
Yeah, a few years ago.
Right, it wasn't that long ago. Milford.
Really, his job in between this job at Milford and the job previous, he took a teaching position at Colerain.
Yep, there you go. That's exactly right. And his son is an assistant coach on Colerain White Oak's 7th grade team. So Grippa is very familiar with Colerain and being in the area. And you can
ex-Elder coach, a Colerain middle school teacher, and we're playing on St. Nexus
Field against Tom Grippa coaching the Milford Eagles. So you can hear the intensity and the sound rising in our ambient mic. That's the Colerain Cardinals who are heading out of their locker room, and they're lining up in the St. Xavier end zone, getting ready to rush the field. Of course, the standard flag bearer, number 5, Ivan Pace Jr., who has really taken the city by storm the past few weeks with his unbelievable play, really starting in the Fairfield game and not slowing down at all since.
And if you don't follow us on Twitter, you have to just with a single picture of Mike Noyes that we read, by Mike Noyes that we retweeted. Got a real good camera angle, real good picture of Ivan Pace's big thug mug stiff arm last week against St.
So this game, as we said, as a repeat, we cannot show you live video because it's the playoffs, but it will be carried on Waycross, where you'll be able to see it sometime. We'll post the replay. Okay, it's already been posted, so just audio tonight because it is the playoffs.
Yep, and of course, as a reminder, you can reach us here in the booth. The email address is radio@wearecolerain.com. Whether you're in sunny California or in cold Chicago, and you know who you are, folks, please let us know you're listening. And if anyone else is listening and you'd like to send us an email, again, radio@wearecolerain.com is the address. Again, Colerain won the toss and deferred, so they will start off on defense to begin this game. And as a reminder, just to reiterate what Brian said, special shout-out to Mark here on behalf of Waycross Community Media. He's taking our live audio feed, and with a single camera in 40-degree weather on top of the box, 300 feet in the air, he's going to record this game, and it's going to be available on Waycross this weekend. And the schedule for that, the playback schedule, has already been posted in an article right on the front page of wearecolerain.com. So you can click on that and see it.
Chris, you're pretty kind saying 40-degree weather. This is blustery 43. I believe the wind chill is in the lower 30s. A strong wind from one side, pretty much the length of the field. It will be a factor tonight. Colerain is in there already to be kicking with the wind at their back.
And when we saw it last week, we've seen it almost every week, except a few weeks where he was kind of hurt from the soccer. But Chris Mangold has been a weapon for the Colerain Cardinals on special teams, especially on this kickoff, either kicking it through the end zone for a touchback or kicking it high and just short of the end zone and letting his defense swarm the offense short of the 20-yard line.
That's a great call, and I expect we'll see that again tonight, especially with the wind at his back, just putting the ball through the back of the end zone. Let's see who we've got lined up here. Number 7 is lined up on the 5-yard line for the Milford Eagles. That's Dustin Loudermilk, a 6-foot, 170-pound senior, and also number 28, Cameron Kells, the running back. 5'9", 160 is the All-ECC Player of the Year. 5'9", 160, Cameron Kells.
That guy's popular in the state of Wisconsin. Sorry.
Here we go. Foot is underneath it, and it's going to be well short. Caught at the 5-yard line by number 7, taken up to the 10, the 15, just past the 15, is going to be taken down right there. Milford will start off 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Yeah, not into the end zone. Kicking with the wind. It's swirling now. It's changed direction, but what he does great is gets plenty of hang time. This Colerain coverage team has really held their own this year. And, you know, it's better now. It's not in the end zone where they place it at 20. Milford's going to start off at their own 16.
17 officially on the scoreboard.
Number 13, Hunter Johnson, the quarterback. He is 6'2", 195-pound junior.
Out of the shotgun, 3 wide.
Yep, defensive line shifts. He's got 3 wide to his right. Backs off the line a little bit. Gets his signal. Cameron Kells in the backfield. He takes the initial handoff, looks for some room, and he runs right into number 99, Eric Phillips.
And that's a young man that's missed the past 2 weeks. Kind of rolled his ankle there at the end of week 10. Sat out most of the defensive plays last week. Came in on just goal line packages as a blocking tight end, with Eric Phillips making his presence on the first play.
Good defensive pressure up the middle. There was no further where to run. He actually loses almost 3 yards.
Interesting they come out running the ball for a team that's really known. And they are balanced, but I mean with 2,500 yards passing, you expect to see him go to the air. 3 wide receivers, split wide right, 1 left. Hunter Johnson's got it. Pass is complete. It's number 18. He sheds 1 tackler. He's going to pick up about, we'll call it 6 yards on the play out to the 22-yard line where it'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, just sat down right behind the linebackers. Just found a weak spot in the zone. Almost overthrew him. The quarterback kind of fumbled the step, but stuck with it to make this 3rd down and 6 a little bit more manageable. Again, you can also chat with us in the on YouTube in our chat room. We'd love to hear from you. If you've got any questions, you can ask us, or any comments, please keep it clean. There's a pass out to number 18, caught. It's going to be beyond the 1st down marker, out at about the 20, we'll call it the 28-yard line, and it will be a 1st down for the Milford Eagles.
He needed the 27. They got the 27.
I'll tell you what, I know St. X has nice facilities. Did you guys see their down marker across the street?
It's digital.
I've never seen a digital down marker, but like I said, so a 1st down for the Milford Eagles on their first drive. The ball at their own 28.
It was here week 2 when we were here.
I didn't notice it then. I just saw something shiny tonight, Brandon.
All right, 1st down and 10 for the Milford Eagles. Takes the ball, hands it off one more time. Same play they saw the first time. Kell's finding himself a little bit of room. Offensive line to open him up some space. He's going to pick up about 5 yards on that 1st down.
Yeah, and just kind of let the Colerain pressure kind of over-pursue and patiently kind of waited for the defense to kind of run past them, snuck by for the 5-yard gain.
As much as we talked about this team's offense and their wanting and maybe willingness to throw the football, do you think maybe part of their philosophy tonight offensively is to eat up clock and limit Colerain possessions?
They just want to score. You know, that's always a good thought when somebody wants to do that, but you don't go away from what you do best.
True. There's another handoff over across the middle. Eric Phillips in to clean up that tackle. About 1 yard gained on that, up to about the 30, we'll call it the 34-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down, or excuse me, 3rd down.
Yeah, they take the jet sweep, and that draws the blitz immediately from Ivan Pace. And as soon as Kell slows down to try to find the hole, Ivan Pace tackles him from behind.
So 3rd down and 4. The Colerain fans are rocking the stands right now. We can feel the vibrations. It is an electric atmosphere in round 2 of the playoffs. Man in motion, 3 wide receivers set to the top. Hunter Johnson drops back, looks to pass, wants it over the middle. Picked off! Number 25, the sophomore, Mike Best has got it. He's brought it back to the 35, and he takes it all the way down to the 31-yard line, where it'll be 1st down for the Colerain Cardinals.
And we saw Milford was trying to use a man in motion to tell the defense, and as soon as they do that, Jakari Patterson follows the motion man. The quarterback knows he's got man-to-man, but he's got man-to-man because the Cardinals are going zero coverage and bringing the blitz. Ivan Pace, Dante Colerain, Eric Phillips, he just kind of stepped back and tried to get rid of it. Never got a good throw because of the pressure, and it lands in the hands of Mike Best.
Well, and that was the one thing about Hunter Johnson, as we said going into this game, 16 interceptions.
Yeah, he's not afraid to put it up. With those 24 touchdowns, do come that 16 interceptions. So Deontay Smith-Moore now under center, hands the ball off to Ivan Pace, and he is hit immediately. He's going to push forward and pick up about, we'll call it 1.5 yards, maybe 2, on 1st down.
That'll get the ball inside the 30. Colerain start just inside the 30.
Always a feeling out process for a defense seeing this Colerain offense for the first time, and it has been forever since Colerain and Milford played each other.
You see that only a 2-yard game. It's also a feel out for the Deontay Smith-Moore figuring out how they are going to attack on the option.
Yep. There's an end around to J.J. Davis. He's got it. Makes one man miss. Stays on his feet. He's still on his feet. He's looking for the end zone.
Oh, he's fast.
Touchdown, Cardinals.
J.J. Davis, he's fast. And then landed 6, and in that one, he's not just fast. He's strong. He broke one arm tackle, spun out, stiff arms the last man, and he's just going to follow his blocker into the end zone for 6 points.
Milford committed a lot of guys into the box right there. There was 9 guys inside the tackles. J.J. Davis finds the crease to get the outside. There's 2 guys blocking. There's two defenders out there. Colerain wide receivers do their job. Colerain strikes first.
Ed Bolden to snap. Deontay Smith-Ward will hold Chris Mangold with the kick. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, and kick is good. At the end, 8:29 mark of the first quarter is your Colerain Cardinals 7, the Milford Eagles 0.
Well, you couldn't have asked for a better start to the game for the Colerain Cardinals, deferring the kickoff or deferring the decision until the second half, and they were able to get an early turnover and on 2 plays put 7 points on the board and lead 7-0 over the Milford Eagles. Of course, there are other games going on throughout the city and throughout the state of Ohio tonight. Brandon's got those written down, and we'll keep you updated on those as we can. And we got a 3-man booth tonight. Mike Rourke is not with us, but we do have our full complement down on the field. We've got Frank taking pictures. We've got Alex Kaiser down there on Snapchat doing his thing, creating awesome stories with great images and video. And, of course, Jason Helfrich down there with the iPad taking all the good shots for our Twitter. We love to see all of you follow us on Twitter, of course, at We Are Colerain, and, of course, on Facebook as well. And always visit the website for news and information about Colerain and booster events.
Again, you can reach us in the booth at radio@wearecolerain.com. Having fires up in North Carolina that Lenny Lopez is safe. Temperatures in the 80s, where he is. The Chris Mangold's kick fills through the back of the end zone for another touchback. Listening in from Corona, California is Lenny Lopez, and listening in from Chicago, Illinois, Jim and Terry Shear.
Okay, so far, no precipitation. They're calling for later in the game, maybe a little drizzle, maybe a little snow, but
that's a perfect November night, really. I mean, outside of the wind, but again, for us, that's fine. It could be as windy as they need it to be.
Also, again, you can reach us directly in the chat on YouTube. We get a Mike R. from Orlando checking in and a Mike R. from Dayton checking in.
How about that? I bet I know who the Mike R. from Orlando is. Drops back to pass, does Henry Johnson. It is incomplete.
Oh, that's all. I tell you what, who is that?
That's Deshaun Pace.
Deshaun Pace closes up from the safety position. He lays a blow on the wide receiver who just does a little quick little hook pattern, little flat pattern there, and doesn't make a football move. But
did he actually catch it?
It's the thing. It's hard to tell from as high as we are if he actually got a foot down and made a move, or if he hadn't actually established it. Referee's right there to make the call.
Yep, so they call it incomplete. So second down and 10 on their own 20-yard line. Milford Eagles.
Has a different formation, 3 wide receivers. They got a extra fullback back there from the shotgun, running up a pistol.
He rolls, hands it off to Cameron Kells, who tries to take it back across the middle, and young man, that's not going to work when there's 3 Cardinals there waiting for you. He's going to be tackled right at the line of scrimmage. I don't think any official loss on that play, but it'll be 3rd and 10.
And this we get to see now formation we haven't really seen all year because very few teams in the GMC are spread teams. Cardinals go to their dime package. Jaquan Jackson comes as an extra DB. Jalen Thomas comes in as an extra pass rusher. Eric Phillips is going to drop down to defensive end.
So 3rd down and 10 for Milford. Ball on their own 20-yard line, looking to try and get a first down. Down 7-0 here early against the Cardinals.
Lots of movement up front.
Jumped
one of the linemen from Milford jumped at the same time as the Colerain Cardinal jumps. The referees are discussing, as you said, right, Brandon, who moved first.
Here's the thing: the guy who jumped over the center, the nose guard, he jumped before the right tackle jumped. I don't think that's one of those ones that maybe it's a snap and center thing that he's just going on, and that's why the tackle jumped as well. But I think Mike Best, who was at lined up in nose guard on that play, did go off first.
Yeah, so subbing back in regular because 3rd down and 5 now.
At the 25-yard line. 3 wide receivers split wide to the left. Drops back. Hunter Johnson looks the pass to the right, throws it, and it is incomplete. Sincere Jones in coverage, and he knocks it out.
And the Colerain Cardinals are going to do this all day. They put zone. Milford has 3 receivers one side, 1 to the other. On the side of 3, they're going to play zone. They're going to put everyone It's Sincere Jones 101 on an island there on the far side. Colerain Cardinals are going to take that all day. They try that little hook route, and I don't even, if it's on target, it's probably intercepted, but that one's just a little high as it was.
Number 86, Brian Stevens is back to
So Brian Stevens going to be kicking from his own 10, kicking into a very, very strong win. Who is that? Sincere and JJ.
Same two it's been all year.
There you go. Snap is back. Punt is off. It's a low punt. It bounces right at the 50-yard line and takes a Milford bounce down to the 35. They're going to let it die right there at the 34-yard line. So they do flip the field a little bit, does Milford. Colerain will start off their second offensive series of the game at their own 34-yard line, but they do have a 7-0 lead with 7:32 left to go in the first quarter.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes when you don't have a true punter, you get the odd kick, and he just kind of muscled. I don't know if that's I think the tallest punter in high school at 6'8". That's your Connor Foster. He just muscled one. It took an odd bounce.
So that's interesting. On the roster, he's listed as 85, but he did have on 86, did he not? Or at least they called 86. Tight formation here for the Cardinals. Deontay Smith-Moore under center, takes the ball, fakes the handoff to Ivan Pace. He rolls wide, looks to keep it himself, does. Gets it all the way out to the 40-yard line. It'll be a 6-7-yard pickup on first down.
And that's one of those option plays where Milford did everything right, but Colerain did everything right as well. Milford was there at every level, but Deontay Smith-Moore and that offensive line just pushed forward. Deontay does a good job of letting the defenders come to him and take his other options, and he takes what he can get following his offensive line for 7 yards.
10 weeks ago this weekend, Rusty Fess unfortunately lost his season on this very field. Glad to see him down on the sideline cheering on his teammates. Sincere Jones.
Ball's loose.
Ball's loose.
Still loose.
Deontay Smith-Moore.
There's a fight for it. But Milford coming at Deontay Smith-Moore just couldn't get the ball off the center. Both of them got the hands on it, but they are giving it to the Milford Eagles.
41. Lucas Bowling comes up with it from the pile.
That play was odd to start with. We're gonna see. We don't have any replays, but if Waycross picked it up when they were calling the play, Ivan Pace fell down. Then he got set, and then the snap was back, and it was mishandled, and Deontay Smith-Moore never got back on it. It's just odd to begin with, but Milford at the Colerain 40.
Well, two things that can unravel this Colerain team, and it's turnovers and penalties. We're now even on the turnovers for the night. Hunter Johnson now throws it deep down the right sideline, and it is incomplete, almost intercepted. Sincere Jones, I don't know that he would have got both of his feet in, or at least one of them.
Well, that was the wind kind of knocked that one down.
Good call.
It was just running down the sidelines one-on-one, and that ball just kind of tailed away. That was a long throw to make cross field.
It would have been an amazing interception if Sincere could have pulled that in. But you're right, it kind of died and then went away from him. So he's pretty rough on himself there. But
and again, if you're the Colerain Cardinals, though, if you're just going to go one-on-one, throw up hope against Sincere Jones,
sure, we'll take that.
Okay, then.
Okay, if that's the plan. Second down and 10 now for the Milford Eagles at the Colerain 40-yard line after an incomplete pass on first down. Again, throwing into the wind is Hunter Johnson, the 6'2" junior quarterback. There's 85 in at a fullback position. Kells tries to get some space, and he gets none. He gets tackled in the backfield for a loss. Guess who? Number 5, Ivan Pace, Jr.
Well, if it wasn't going to be Ivan Pace Jr., it was going to be Eric Phillips come the other way. Kells takes the handoff, and he's just not got a shot if he goes one way or the other. It's basically a sandwich between Pace and Phillips, and I don't know if I'm Kells, I don't want to be in between those two.
So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 12. You got on that play too. You got to give Donovan Owens credit on that tackle. So pistol formation.
Yep. In the backfield, Hunter Johnson's got it. Rolls to his right, looking to pass, throws it down the field. It is caught. I think it's caught. We'll see where they mark it. I think he's going to have enough for the first down. He did. He needed 12, and I think he got 13. So they're inside the 30-yard line, right at the 29, where it'll be first down for the Milford Eagles.
This time doing a little something different. They rolled him away from the pressure, gave him a little bit of time, and he's tried the deep one, but he's pretty good on this quick little timing routes. Throws the ball a little bit low, but a nice catch.
Well, again, 2,500 yards passing on the year. I mean, he can absolutely fling it. There's no doubt about it.
So 5 wide receivers.
How about that?
Back there.
2 to the top, 3 to the left. Then we got a flag, little false start, 5-yard penalty against the Eagles.
And here's the thing, though, to keep in mind as Milford is driving into Colerain territory. This is a team that has not kicked a field goal all year. So inside Colerain's 35, this is 4-down territory for the Milford Eagles.
Yeah, and they go empty. They pretty much think pass.
Yep.
Quarterback is not a threat to run.
No, not at all. Snaps back, looks to pass, throws it, and it is incomplete behind the intended receiver. Once again, number 28. It'll be third down.
And a combination of two things. Dante Corleone hitting his arm as he's thrown in the wind. Maybe the wind. We'll give it more to Dante Corleone knocking Foster's arm as he goes to throw.
Yeah, I think Corleone can be the X factor here in the Colerain defense. He puts a lot of pressure up the middle and forces a lot of good centers.
Well, especially when Milford's going to spread it out. It's really up to Mason Hill, Donovan Owens, and Corleone to get the pressure up front.
So here we go now. Snap is back. Hunter Johnson drops way back, looking for some room. He's got some pressure, and it is incomplete.
Wow, I tell you what, bad decision there. They were setting up the screen, and everybody on Colerain read that, and he still tried to throw that. He's got to throw that ball away. If he gets that to his running back, he's losing 7-8 yards on that play.
Yeah, and you can't expect the running back with his back to the defense to have the smarts to just knock it down and not catch it.
But Eric Phillips was all over that. A good read by the coaching staff to recognize that screen.
So third down and 15 now, back on Colerain's 34-yard line. They need 15 yards for the first down. Trailing 7-0 is Milford. Looking to get a big third down conversion here. Looks to pass, throws it deep down the middle of the field, and it is...
Did he catch that? An unbelievable catch.
He did catch it. Touchdown, Milford Eagles. 2 Cardinals on him, and they were able to get that ball in between both of them and score their first points of the night. They're now an extra point away from tying this game up with 5 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, just pretty much a throw and a hope you're getting into the end zone there. And as I said, he's right in between 2 Colerain defenders playing a zone right there. Didn't get a number. They said we're pretty high up there. It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, I'm sorry I didn't have my binoculars up for that one, but
so extra point in, Grace Ertl.
Yep, number 17 in for the Milford Eagles to attempt the extra point.
Little bit of movement. Colerain flinches up front, which causes the offensive line to move.
And a really good throw there by Hunter Johnson to set up. His initial read was there. It made him clutch, and he got hammered by the Colerain defense as they let that ball go.
The referees can discuss that. The Colerain is allowed to move on the defensive line.
But if they're simulating the count, then it is a penalty on them. So if they're jumping, yelling, that could be considered.
That's a long discussion for this.
Dead ball, false start against the Milford Eagles, so they're going to lose 5 yards on this extra point attempt.
And a team that hasn't kicked their field goal all year, pushing back, make it a little more difficult.
All right, so now the ball will be set at the 15-yard line. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up. It's high enough, it's long enough, it is good enough. Grace Ertl, the kicker for the Milford Eagles, ties the game up with 5 minutes and 25 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
Yeah, mishandled snap and fumble gives Milford a shorter field, 40 yards, they drive the ball.
The 2 things that will hurt the Cardinals, I mentioned a little bit earlier, and didn't get to them. 1, turnovers, 2 penalties. Last week, Colerain had 92 yards in penalties. Didn't seem to hurt them last week, but you know, as you get deeper in the playoffs, those kinds of things can play on. But in this particular series, of course, it was the turnover giving Milford a short field. And again, Milford's got a fantastic offense. There's no question about that. They average almost 40 points a game during the regular season. So they absolutely can score. And they've done it tonight by putting 7 up on the Cardinals here in the first quarter.
Well, a little deja vu for the Cardinals. That's almost the exact same spot we saw week 2 on this field, where under pressure, St. X quarterback throws it deep into the right corner of the end zone, and a great play by the receiver.
Yep, right over Alonzo Kendricks in the on the top of the. Yep.
Yeah, Vince Ringland, backup quarterback, going to do the kickoff duties for the Milford Eagles. Interesting, kicking it into the wind this time. Colerain, 2 dangerous return men back there. I'll be surprised if this ball doesn't just squib right up the middle of the field.
We'll see what they do here. Again, if anyone thought this was going to be a walk in the park, think again. You don't get to the second round of the playoffs by beat Fairfield to do it and not be a good team. There's the kickoff, and you're right, it's a low-line drive kick, and we have a penalty.
Offside.
Is going to be offside against Milford.
Rarely called, even if I didn't really see it too well, but you pretty much have to be, you time it well. You have to be really confident for a referee.
I don't know if they do it every kickoff, but the defensive lineman out there, C.T. Phillips on the kick team, as he got to the line, he kind of did like a spin move. I don't know if he does that every play, but maybe that was him saying, "Oh, I'm about to be offsides. I got to do something to slow my body down."
I noticed that too.
That's number
12,
Let's
C.T.
see.
Phillips. This is the first time we've seen them kick off, so I don't know if he does that every single time.
Why would you disorient yourself?
I don't know.
Everybody's got their own thing. Let's see. Let's see.
Watch, he's staying on the 30.
This will move back to the 35.
He's 2 away from the kicker. Nope, didn't do it that time. So there's a low line drive kick, and it's going to be sat on right at the 30-yard line. The up man fell on it.
Get the ball and Liz is playing another day. Don't.
Yep, number 61 just fell on it, but I mean, great field position for the Cardinals. They'll start off on the 30.
Yeah, we'll see if Colerain makes any adjustments to that. You could almost, a lot of times you got a guys that block right there. Put a couple extra return man in that second level.
Who was right behind him? Was that JJ right behind him?
Yeah.
I'm almost thinking he's going to reach down, pick it up, and toss it behind him to JJ and let him do his thing.
All on it and
unless you can get it, right away, and you're 100% sure he did the right thing right
So
there.
in the I formation now, Ivan Pace Jr. and J.J. Davis dotting it. There's a fake handoff. J.J. Davis has got it wide. He's got 1 man to miss, 2 man to miss, and he's into the open. He's at the 50, he's at the 45, he's at the 40, where he gets pushed out of bounds. A huge run for J.J. Davis, and a first down for the Cardinals.
The people of the year, I mean, J.J. Davis exploded in the last 2 games of the playoffs. Had more yardage in the last 2 games of the year in the playoffs than he's done the entire rest of the season. Kind of ask about what happened to him. Well, guess what? It's a triple option. If they're going to take away the pitch man and give you the fullback, Ivan's going to get it. If they're going to take everyone else away, Deontay's going to get it. So far tonight, it's been the J.J. Davis show.
Yeah, they're really crowding the line to take away Ivan Pace.
Yep, and there's this pitch to Sincere Jones, who's going to take it out wide, and he's going to pick up at least 9 yards on that first down run, deep into Milford territory, down to the 32-yard line.
That's where Colerain has a distinctive advantage over this team. Speed to the edge. If they're going to take away Ivan Pace in the middle and allow J.J. Davis and Sincere Jones
to take the edges, they'll absolutely do that.
I'll tell you what, though, they might have got 6-7 yards on the play, but Freddie Johnson is going to get yelled at in film tomorrow.
Missed the block.
He missed that block. It could have been a touchdown.
So back in the I formation now. Deontay Smith-Moore under center. Takes the handoff, keeps himself, spins. Well defended by Milford, and he's going to get no gain on that, so he might have even lost a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, this time he almost should have given it to Pace, but it's his decision to make, and really he gets back to the line of scrimmage. You're in 2-down territory. It's 3rd down and about 4.
Yeah, absolutely.
So no change in formation. Back to the I formation. 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 tight end to the right.
3rd down for the Cardinals. Deontay Smith-Moore's got it, gives it to Ivan Pace. He lowers his head, reaches across. He's going to have enough for the first down all the way down to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, nothing fancy here. They got I formation, and they're just going to run around. They have 2 wide receivers to one side, I formation, tight end, tackle over there, and then just give it to Ivan Pace, tackle over the other way.
4 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. First down and 10 for the Cardinals at the Milford 27-yard line. There's Deontay Smith-Moore, hands it off once again to Ivan Pace, takes it across the middle. He's still moving. Still moving the pile. Gets it all the way down inside the 20. He's going to be about a yard shy of the first down, and he got hit 3 yards beyond the line of scrimmage.
Well, it's also big pushes by T.J. Ganella and Quasi Jones, Will Coleman up there.
You say he got hit 3 yards behind the scrimmage.
No, he hit them.
No, and it wasn't just him. They made contact. They didn't hit. They didn't tackle him.
No, he got hit. Right.
It was a collision, and the ruck of the offensive line pushes with Ivan Pace behind him, pushes forward.
2nd down and short. Deontay Smith-Moore keeps it, and he takes it inside the 15-yard line for another Colerain first down.
This time, they jump on Ivan Pace right away. It's the same play, same formation. This time, though, he tucks Deontay Smith-Moore. Instead of taking his course, continuing to the outside off the dive, he takes it back, takes a step back in, and follows Ivan Pace up for the first down up the middle.
So 1st down and 10 for the Cardinals at the Milford 14-yard line. Game tied at 7, 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. We've got an offset I formation. Sincere Jones in motion. Takes a speed pitch wide. There's a good block on the edge. Sincere Jones is going to get that block and get 6. Touchdown, Cardinals! Sincere Jones.
C.J. Ganello with the pulling tackle is the lead man on the quick pitch to the outside. He lays the block pancake on the outside. Sincere Jones is one-on-one. Beats his man to the corner of the end zone. Sincerely yours, Sincere Jones for 6 points.
That's just how you draw it up, right? I mean, that was textbook.
They had to pitch to the outside, and there was one defender out there and one Colerain offensive lineman, and C.J. Ganello does his job.
He hammered him. Yeah, that was a great block. Mangled on for the extra point.
Snap is back, hold is down, kick is good! And that's a 3:17 mark in the first quarter. Colerain Cardinals 14, the Eagles of Milford 7. And as a reminder, you can reach us in the booth here live at radio@wearecolerain.com or directly in the live
chat on YouTube.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tim Johnson listening in from Frederick, Maryland. Joe Hinkle listening in from Fort Lee, Virginia. Chris Walker in from Humboldt, Texas. Former Colerain Cardinal Howard Watkins listening in. Former Cardinal DeMondre Allen listening in.
Thank you for all of you for tuning in tonight. Again, this is Chris Simonitis along with Brian and Brandon Wyatt with WeAreColerain.com.
Also to the live chat, I can't help you. Live chat is discussing ways to get around the internet blocks of certain websites to watch this game. I can't help you live.
Can't do anything about that, sorry. But the good news is Waycross is here, Waycross Community Media, and they are taping the game, and they will have it on delay, and they're going to be showing it, of course, later this weekend. The schedule for that is on our website. Chris Mango kicks off into the end zone, and that is where the Milford Eagles will take over. First down and 10 at their own 20-yard line now, trailing 14-7. And Brian, so much a part of Colerain playing an opponent that really they're not familiar with is, just kind of feeling each other right in the first quarter, and there's a little bit of that going on here. You have to be impressed, though, with the way Milford has played, at least offensively. They've had some success moving the ball, and the Colerain defense, though, has stepped up real well.
Well, giving them the short film, but it's all come down to the third down conversions so far. Don't have any stats yet, but Milford has had the third long a couple times and converted it. And when they have gotten penalties and had longer than 3rd and 10, that's caused them to go 3 and out. So Colerain on 1st and 2nd down, big plays for this defense. Snap
back to Hunter Johnson, hands it right over the middle of Cameron Kells, and he is tackled immediately right at the line of scrimmage. I think they're going to give him right back to the line.
He made him an offer he couldn't refuse. Dante Corleone just engulfed Kells at the line of scrimmage.
That's what they call a catch tackle. He just had his arms out and just welcomed him. We got a substitution. Referees are making Ivan Pace come out. Don't know if we had a helmet or a... he's pointing to his elbow. I believe it's a blood issue, so we'll get that taped up. Jalen Thomas in the ball game.
2nd down and 10. No gain on that play for the Milford Eagles. Hunter Johnson clapping, asking for the ball. Drops back, looks the pass. He's got some pressure. He throws it to a wide open Cameron Kells. He's got it out to the 25. He's trying to get enough for the first down, and he doesn't. Good open field tackle by number 1, Sincere Jones.
Well-designed play. They go play action, and they send both the outside receivers on fly routes. Kells slips out of the backfield, and there was nobody there.
Right. And it's a play we've seen the Colerain Cardinals run a few times with Ivan Pace out of the shotgun. So just run everyone deep and then just kind of slip a guy out of the backfield, let the pressure come to you. Almost a screen without any alignment out in front.
So interesting on a 3rd and 2. They like to run the ball, but I haven't had a lot of success doing it.
Got to believe big number 85 in there. They're going to run to his side. Let's see if that's in fact what they do. There's a snap back, the handoff once again to Kells, and that's exactly what they do. He's going to run wide and have plenty enough for the first down before he gets tracked down by number 8, Jakari Patterson. But he gets enough for the first down out to the 30, we'll call it the 34-yard line.
And that's all Cameron Kells right there. The Colerain Cardinals had him dead to rights, pinned everything on the inside, but he's able to make one cut, get around the edge, and the Cardinals are committed to stopping up the middle. And there's wide open space once he got kind of through that point of attack.
Almost blew up that defensive line better than they wanted. Got good penetration, caught him in that stunt. As I said, they pushed that offensive line back, but there was a lane to the outside.
Yep, 5'9", 160 pounds, a little scat back there. Picked up a first down for the Eagles. Hunter Johnson drops back, rolls to his right, looks the pass. There's some pressure. He throws it, and it is caught, I think, by number 18, but pushed out of bounds after about a 1-yard gain by Jake Ayler. Maybe 1 yard?
1 yard is the official spot. That's a lot of running and work
It
for 1
was.
yard. Your quarterback sprinted halfway across the field. You ran a underneath pattern all the way across the field, and you got 1 yard. But
Well, threw it faster than he wanted to. Ivan Pace putting great pressure. A lot of teams don't block the weak side. They allow the rush there, but with Ivan Pace's running back speed there, really closed down and forced him early.
And I think the Cardinals had a case that Ivan Pace probably should have had that sack, but Cameron Kells might have got an extra little handful of jersey. But you know what? If you're gonna call it tight or not, you're gonna let kids play. Let them play.
Cameron Kells just came out of the game. The referees removed him from the game. He may have an equipment issue.
He was having issues with his towel.
Is that what it was? He threw it. I saw that he threw it, and the referee picked it up and threw it again.
Well, he did. The second play, he did it. That time there says no, 6X towel, kid.
All right. Second down and 9. Snap is back. Hunter Johnson staring down the middle of the field. He throws it, and it's picked off.
Ivan Pace Jr.
He's got it. Ivan Pace Jr. takes it back up the middle. He's down to the 20. He's still on his feet. He's at the 10. 5. Touchdown, Ivan Pace Jr.
Ivan Pace Jr. goes from linebacker to fullback in one play. He picked that ball off, and you're like, okay, he's going to run the outside. He cuts it right in the middle of the defense like he's running midline option. Goes right through the heart of the Milford offensive line trying to tackle him. Gets right through the quarterback, breaks the tackle, and is in for 6.
Yeah, Hunter Johnson he's trying to find somebody there, a little seam route, and a nice drop there by your middle linebacker takes away that passing lane. But you know, when you got a running back that plays defense,
exactly,
he switched right over.
He did. He flipped the switch and said, "Okay, now I'm a tailback."
And that's the second time here in the first quarter where the Cardinals turned up the blitz, forces Hunter Johnson. He doesn't set his feet as Mango adds the extra point with 1:16 to play in the first quarter. Cardinals 21, Milford Eagles 7. Again, sorry, is it Hunter Johnson?
Hunter Johnson, the quarterback.
Hunter Johnson.
Yep.
Again, Cardinals big pressure, and he's falling backwards on his back foot, floats it out there, and the linebackers are able to recover underneath and make the interception.
Yeah, throws it good to an area, but doesn't seem to have a cannon where he can just thread
he
the
has
needle.
time to set his feet, but again, let's give the kid credit. He made a great throw on the touchdown.
No question. That was beautiful.
Let's think about this again. He's a sophomore.
He's a junior. He's a junior.
He's been starting. No, that's right.
This is his first year as a starter.
But let's give the kid credit. This is the first time he's seen a defense.
Oh, no question. You're absolutely right, Brandon. There's no doubt.
He might. The last time Milford saw this kind of, it's not the same level of talent, but the last time we saw this is week 2 when they play the Princeton Vikings and those two defensive studs they had there.
And their offense,
Darian Henry and the other fellow. You're absolutely
their
right.
offense overcomes a lot of the turnovers because they score so much. But so in week 12 he's thrown 18 interceptions.
Yeah, well, again, it gets back to exactly what Brandon said. When he has an opportunity against the opponents that he normally plays against in the ECC, he has an opportunity to set his feet and step into his throws. And any good quarterback has then the ability to complete. Of course, Mango kicks it into the end zone. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles at the 20. But I would venture to say, and again, this is coming from someone who didn't watch a single ECC game all year, but I'm guessing there isn't a weak side linebacker in the ECC like Ivan Pace Jr.
Well, there's not a weak side linebacker in any league in the city like Ivan Pace.
Or the state.
That's kind of my point, right? Exactly.
Well, and then you throw in Eric Johnson on the line, and Corleone, and Mike Best.
Who's Eric Johnson?
Eric Johnson graduated like 6-7 years ago, man.
Eric Phillips.
Eric Phillips.
That's who he's talking about. There you go.
You know, there's one kid name I mess up every year, and
there you go. Drops back to pass with Hunter Johnson. He throws it. Once again, he's on his back foot, and it's caught all the way out at the 50-yard line. So a beautiful pass and a beautiful reception. Let's see if we can get the number on that young man.
I believe that was 18 again. That might be Taylor.
No, it's number 2. Number 2 made that catch, and it's going to be a 31-yard completion for the Milford Eagles.
And that one's on Jakari Patterson. He tried to cut underneath that route for the interception, but he came in at too steep of an angle and overran it.
Gotcha.
Allowed the throw to go over top for completion.
So Dylan Hughes, the 6-foot, 180-pound senior with the catch, another big playmaker for the Milford Eagles. Now they're in Colerain territory at the 49-yard line. Less than a minute to go in the first quarter. Snap is back. There's a handoff to Kells right across the middle. He gets some room, squeaks through, and gets it down to the 44-yard line. 5-yard gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, Bolden on the tackle. Takes it down to the 44. This time they've been trying to run it behind the big tight end lined up at fullback, Cameron Connor. This time they run inside and between the guards. Find a little bit of space.
Lined up at the Colerain 44-yard line. 2nd down and 5. 2 wide receivers split wide to the left, and that's where Hunter throws it, and it's caught by number 18. He's got the first down and takes it all the way down inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line, and in comes a flag, and that's going to be another 15 yards tackled onto it.
I think they kind of slid down. He's going to call a face mask on that.
Yeah, we can't see if he actually got a hand in his face. It didn't look like there was a possibility.
I thought he was going to call a horse collar because it looked like he grabbed him from behind.
Well,
it looked like hand wrapped around.
Yeah.
But either way,
be half the distance to go on top of that.
Well, it takes the ball all the way down to the, I would have thought the 14-yard line if it was a 15-yard penalty, but they're going to put it at the 13-yard line. That's interesting.
So it's half the distance to go.
They just moved it to the 14.
He just moved it to the 14.
Public school math.
There you go. It's only half the distance to the goal if you have less than 15 yards, right?
No. It's the enforcement.
Well, that was a 15-yard penalty.
It's the enforcement of the penalty.
And it's the last play of the first quarter. So the Colerain Cardinals are giving the Eagles an opportunity to score here early in the second quarter as it's getting ready to kick off, but they do have a 21-7 lead on the Milford Eagles.
Yeah, and thank you to all the corporate boosters that make this possible. Everything we do at wearecolerain.com could not be done without your support. So thanks again to our 2018-2019 booster corporate sponsors. That's Queen City Running, Valley Metalworks, CAI Insurance, Hawksworth Blood Center, Cincinnati Police Credit Union, State Farm Insurance, Shock Tile and Carpet, Skyline Chili, Hoding Realtors, Underground Sports Shop, Friedhoff Accounting and Tax Service, Meyer, Joe Capel Lawn and Landscape, Midwest Stonescapes, Paul Young Funeral Home, Novacare, La Rosa's, Northgate Ford, Game On Sports Bar, Light Touch, Fast Signs, Aero Pest Control, Plato's Closet, Supercuts, Langen Meats, Quaker Steak and Lube, Joseph Toyota of Cincinnati, Northwest Association of Educators, and Friendship Baptist Church, and Longshaver.
And if you don't already do it, follow us on Facebook, on Snapchat, on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter. Local Fox 19 reporter Joe Daneman got a great shot of Ivan Pace, and we saw Michael Thomas, the Saints wide receiver, trying to honor the Joe Horn cell phone. Apparently get a good pick. Ivan Pace did the same thing after his
interception. You can't do that in high school. Good thing
not if he doesn't brave a prop.
First down and 10 at the 14-yard line for Milford. Take the ball, hand it off, and it went absolutely nowhere. Big number, 58, in on the tackle, and that's going to be a loss of 4 yards on the play.
Yeah, Corleone just came. I don't know how your nose guard goes unblocked, but he's there at the same time
he was unblocked. So back to the 18-yard line, Yeah, that's going to be a 4-yard loss on a play. It'll be second down and 14. They can get a first down if they can get the ball to the 5. And again, this team has not attempted a field goal all year, and being down 2 scores, 21-7, you can't expect it to even be thinking about that now. Second down and 14, 2 wide receivers split wide to the left. Tells in the backfield, looking to be an extra blocker. That's a pass. It is deep, and it's going to be over the intended target's head of number 18.
Yeah, it looked like he was just trying to throw a corner route. Milford receivers stopped at the goal line. That might have been carried off a little bit with the wind. The wind at their back right now, but
that was, I'm about to get handed.
I'm going to throw it away.
Line. I got to throw this ball to get it away.
I think the referees just called a sideline warning against Colerain.
Which just means someone on the Colerain sideline must have run into the ref. They have to give him his space.
Yep.
Well, I saw one of the Colerain coaches recognize something, and it was trying to get the signal out to his defense.
So third down and 14 on the 18-yard line. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Cameron Kells in the backfield. Takes the handoff, looks the pass, and he throws it. It is incomplete. He was under what I would call immense pressure and couldn't quite complete the pass.
Here's the thing about Hunter Johnson. He does a great job of throwing the ball with both Dante Corleone and Donovan Owens hanging from him.
I mean, they were hanging on him.
I don't know how he got that ball.
Well, it was a good play by Bolden right there. He recognized that the tight end, that time in a tight formation, was lined up at the line of the scrimmage and not the backfield. And they were trying to get the 6'8" guy quick release pop pass.
Yep. Both teams with their full complement of timeouts as we're into the second quarter now. Colerain up 21-7. It's 4th down and 14.
I tell you, Hunter Johnson is limping slightly.
And again, Milford hasn't kicked a field goal all year.
Yeah, we have a timeout. Colerain.
Yeah, yep. I saw Tom Bolden sprinting down the sideline.
And then he gave a little He nods in the crowd.
Well, he's got I think he might have pulled a hammy right there. He in this cold weather, these guys are running around. These coaches are standing still, and he tried to run, but it'll take a little bit of time right now. We just handed the first quarter stats. It said Colerain leading 21-7. Milford with only 12 yards rushing, but 116 yards passing. Colerain just the opposite. No yards passing, but they are 11 plays for 108 yards. J.J. Davis, your leading rusher for the Colerain Cardinals. He's got 2 carries, 60 yards. Sincere Jones, 2 carries, 20 yards. Ivan Pace, 3 for 16. Cameron Kells, he's all the offense there the Milford has so far. 8 for 12 with a touchdown, but 2 interceptions. Or excuse me, that was Hunter Johnson. 2 interceptions on. And Jake Eiler leads the receiving, 4 for 26, but Dylan Hughes, 3 catches with that big 34-yarder for the touchdown.
So 4th down and 14 on the 18-yard line. Milford going for it. They need to get all the way down to the 5 or close to it to get the first down. Hunter Johnson drops back, licks the pass, throws it across the middle. It is picked off.
He's got room.
Third interception of the night, and there are blocks in front of him.
He's gone.
Who is that young man?
Corey Patterson, 100 yards.
Touchdown, Cardinals.
A big 4th down conversion for Milford. Just back there. Brandon, I'm going to give him 102 yards. He was in the end zone right there. Takes it down the sideline. Silence from the Milford crowd. This side, Colerain fans,
you've got to give credit to the big 3 up front. Dante Corleone, Mason Hill, Donovan Owens. They dropped off into coverage on the play. They just brought 3, sat back, but the quarterback doesn't have time to set his feet. That's, again, another badly thrown ball because of pressure. This time it sails over everyone's head right in the hands of Ja'Cory Patterson. He thought about a knee, but then he looked up and saw green in front of him and takes it to the house the other way.
So settling in now for the extra point, Chris Mangold, Deontay Smith-Moore. At this point now, Deontay's just the extra point holder. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, and kick is good. So, with 10:54 left in the first half, it's your Colerain Cardinals with a 28-7 lead over the Milford Eagles.
And right now, you got to love the balance. You've got 2 touchdowns from your offense. You've got 2 touchdowns from your defense. How about that?
44-yard interception return for Ivan Pace Jr. and a 102-yard interception return for Ja'Cory Patterson. And you're absolutely right, Brandon. When the quarterback is back on his heels like that and he's trying to get it into space, that's just not where you want to be if you're trying to throw against this Colerain defense. And he had a half a dozen blockers in front of him. I mean, no Milford player even laid a hand on Ja'Cory. He just ran ollie oxen free all the way to the end zone.
Well, you got all your skill position players in the end zone right there. So all he's got to beat is the quarterback and the offensive lineman. Quarterback got blocked right away, and as much as he tried, you're not going to run down Patterson with an offensive tackle.
Yeah, Hunter Johnson came into this game with 25 what you would call rushing attempts for 25 yards. He's not a threat to run at all.
Yeah,
he's not
a lot of those quarterback
anybody.
running attempts too are sacks and knees taken down.
Mango gets his foot underneath it, and it is a high
the wind gets that one. That one's going to be trouble.
It drops. Let's see who gets it.
Still loose.
I can't see who's falling on top of it. It looks like Milford got the ball, but you're right. That wind held the ball up, and it kind of curved backwards.
I've got the perfect angle from where I'm sitting. That ball came up, and it just kept going up and stopped going forward. And it came down to an area where there wasn't a Milford Eagle. The up man ran past it, but it almost hit the up man.
Well, there was a Milford Eagle there, but if you looked at the kick, he looks at the kick and is going to kind of run back to a spot and then go forward. He's not looking for the ball.
Yeah.
Once you see the kick is in the air like that, you don't expect the ball
to come back to you.
To come backwards almost.
And Colerain got a good hop, but just couldn't get clear to the one blocker.
But I don't think the Colerain defenders knew that ball was coming either, so no one knew to jump on it except the return man who falls on it at the 20.
So Milford gets it. Yep, Milford gets it. First down at their own 27-yard line now. There's a handoff to Kells, who tries to take it up the middle, and he's met at the line of scrimmage, taken down, pick up about 1, maybe 1.5 on the play.
Just call it 1 3/4. The ball out to the 23.5.
I was going to say the exact same thing, Dan. I think it was closer to 1 3/4, but
you guys are relentless.
The funny thing is, I had that exact same thought, but I thought, yeah, Chris will get upset if I say it.
And I don't care. No, I do care, and so does this Colerain defense. At a 2nd down and 9, Milford Eagles got a hole to climb out of.
Yeah, and they've got the offense to do it. I mean, they can certainly sling it. Drops back to pass with Hunter Johnson. He throws it across the middle, and it's off again. Off of the hands of the intended receiver, and that is Sincere Jones into the end zone for another defensive score, a 28-yard.
Yeah, I see there's a flag on the I couldn't tell if that was a flag or somebody's towel that came out.
Well, let's see what the call is.
There's a flag. It's a block, illegal block on the return.
Did he go low?
It's an interception, right? Yeah,
Right.
and that might made the call. He might have went low. Now, to Deshaun's Pace credit, Cameron Kells is like 5'8", and Pace is like 6'4".
Is he that big? 6 feet, I guess he is. All right, so the interception is going to stand.
Nope, the touchdown is good.
So that was
So what happens is Cameron Kells
went low.
Cameron Kells went low on the guy that was not the ball carrier.
Oh, so it's a penalty against.
It's a 15-yard penalty against Milford. Sincere Jones adds the team's third pick six of the game, and the little confusion.
Well, score that
team is now on.
So it's 34-7, Colerain over Milford. Chris Mangold on to attempt the extra point. At this point, the defense has outscored the offense. That's all I'm telling you. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, and kick is good.
Good! With 10 minutes to play in the first half, it's your Colerain Cardinals 35, the Eagles of Milford 7.
I didn't catch the number of the intended receiver, but to kind of circle back, so Hunter Johnson drops back there when the ball's on the 28-yard line, throws the pass, hits the hands, both hands of his intended receiver. It pops off of his hands. Sincere Jones is right there, catches it, takes it in 28 yards for the third defensive interception return for a touchdown tonight for Colerain.
And give Dustin Loudon some credit. He's trying. He didn't just drop it.
Oh no, it hit his hand like a bullet.
It was a high throw. He tried to jump in the air and couldn't make the circus catch.
Had a defender in front of him too, so he might have been kind of screened.
So it isn't like he just let's give the kid some credit. He didn't just drop it.
Nope, it was a bullet, and you're right, Brian. There was a defender in front of him, and I think Hunter Johnson saw that, tried to get it over that defender, and that just makes it a tough catch.
And here's the thing on that return by Sincere Jones too. He had it. He stopped.
All right,
he didn't stop. He slowed down.
So interesting, with that 15-yard penalty, Colerain will be kicking off from the Milford 45. Now, I saw there was a lot of talk on the sidelines of what to do right here. Do you just go ahead and kick it to the end zone? You're cooking into a win. Or do you try an onside kick here, and even if they cover it, you pin them back?
I expect a pop up into one of the corners here.
Yep, we'll see what Mangold can do here. Gets his foot underneath it, and it is a pop-up. The wind does hold it, and it is caught inside the 5-yard line. And he's got to come out, and that's not going to be a good deal for him. The Cardinals on special teams take down the return man at the 3-yard line. That's Cameron Kells, who should have let that ball go into the end zone.
And if you're Chris Mangold, you can't do it any better. You lift it into the air, into the wind.
Blustery wind, yep.
Blustery wind, and it caught at the 2. And the way he kicked it, it's a knuckleball. Who knows if it bounces forward or backwards?
Yeah, Cameron,
he puts his
he's 50-50. He's got to catch it and take it. He can't not take that risk. It's kind of
especially with the short field, the defense is going to get there a lot faster.
It was going into the winds. That ball, he caught off the 2, but it was almost coming back to the 3.
Yeah. So
that was just well executed by Colerain.
So the ball will start off first down and 10 on the Milford 3-yard line.
This is the two-way player, Sincere Jones, on that return I was saying before. He kind of slowed down, let Deshaun Pace get in front of him to block, and then blew by into the end zone.
That's what you see from senior leadership.
So shotgun snap's going to be into the end zone. And a little bit of movement.
It'll be just that much farther into the end zone.
Connor Foster, the 6'8", tight end. Moved a little early, half of the distance to the goal line, taken to the 1 yard and 1 football spot.
I'll tell you what, I got some scores for it, but I got this one.
Now hold on to him, Phil.
No, I got to share this one. Beaver Creek, 4-0 at half. The girls team from Beaver Creek is going to dominate their way.
Going to soccer.
23-0 on the season. Beaver Creek state champions in girls soccer.
Well, my night's complete.
Yep.
I thought we had 2.
Snap is back. Hunter Johnson at the back of the end zone looking to throw it deep down the field. He's got a man open, but he overthrows him all the way out at the midfield line, intended for number 2, Dylan Hughes. No flag on the play, and that's going to be a big, interesting thing to see as this game develops, is the pass interference calls that may or may not come out throughout the course of the game.
Well, Sincere Jones played a very physical corner right there, kind of riding him out. Kind of got a little way with a little bit of contact down the field, but there's no uncatchable ball in high school. The referees didn't. But that's a big chance to take. It takes a long time for that pass play to develop. Good pass protection by this offensive line.
Second down and 12.
Watch your tight end here.
There's a handoff to Cameron Kells across the middle. He takes it out past the 4, right to the 5-yard line. It'll be third down for Milford on their own 5-yard line.
Yeah, Luke Bolden takes him down after about a 3-yard gain.
9.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Colerain up 35-7 on the Milford Eagles.
Milford's going to have to make a substitution. One of your offensive linemen, Nate Flannery.
And I think they're just going to take the timeout instead of doing that. The way this front defensive line has been playing for the Colerain Cardinals, you can't afford any sort of second-guessing this close to your own goal line.
Yeah, Nate Flannery, the senior offensive lineman, kind of hobbled there, and he kind of made a mistake because if you're hurt, don't worry about the substitution. Lay down. Make the referee stop the game for the injuries.
Not to spread any bad juju, fellas, but this is the exact same score that Milford was down last week to Fairfield, 5-7, before they mounted their unbelievable comeback. Now, again, I don't expect to see that again here tonight, but, I mean, again, the point is they're capable of it. So well, you've got to be alert, and I know that Tom Bolden and the coaching staff at Colerain is very well aware of that, and most importantly, the players are aware of it.
But didn't Fairfield have running back hurt, backup quarterback in, and was still trying to throw the ball?
None of those players play defense.
Yeah, but those guys don't play defense.
But they still tried to throw the ball, and a big defensive turnover started that comeback.
It certainly hurt when you can't move the ball, eat up clock, get first downs, and keep Milford's offense off the field. No doubt. There's no doubt about that. But the point is, again, only that this Milford team believes in themselves. They know they can come back because they just did it a week ago. So you've got to keep to, what does Coach say? All gas, no brakes. Snap is back. Hunter Johnson looks to pass. He's in the end zone. Good blocking. Catch is made and then immediately tackled. Yeah, Luke Bolden was immediately on the big tight end, number 85. He caught the ball. They're giving him the 6-yard line. It's going to be fourth down. And, you know, I'm not saying it's a good time for a fake punt.
This is a good spot for a fake punt. If you're down 4 scores, you can't hold anything back.
Wait, that was, okay, Brandon and I have been saying that all year and tried to be the first one. Chris is so proud of himself because he's not the funny one. And this is the worst possible situation that they could have for a fake punt, and Chris called it.
Good job, Chris. That was fantastic.
That was good. I'll give you. I don't give you credit too often.
Chris, standing with his heels at the back of the end zone is the punter. He's got it, steps up, and it's almost blocked.
He gets a good hop. This is returnable, but he doesn't get a good hop.
Yep, and J.J. Davis touches it and takes it out of bounds, but not until right at the 50-yard line, which is where they'll mark it. That was Deshaun Pace, who I honestly don't know how he missed it. He came off the edge and almost blocked that punt in the end zone.
Here's the thing. You can't see my hands demonstrated. He made a fundamental mistake. He went in with his hands closed over top of each other.
Oh.
That create a smaller target. You got to go with your hands crossed, creates a bigger target.
Oh. Because they say don't go in like with your hands apart.
Go with your hands spread, because that's the spot where it could go through.
Right.
Go in with your hands crossed.
Like this.
Creates a bigger area to block it. Either way, we'll take the 50-yard line for first down.
Will you win on a lot of punt blocks?
No.
He just knows his football, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so first down and 10 for the Cardinals. Oh, this is the offensive side. I've not seen them in a while. There we go. DeShante, DSM takes it, fakes it, keeps it. He's on his feet. He's at the 40, gets down tackle, but not until he gets to the 35-yard line. 15-yard run on first down for Deontay Smith-Moore.
I'll tell you what, he could have had more. I'm not sure what happened, whether he got so excited he made a cut, found a seam, and got a little bit overly excited and kind of stumbled on himself.
Well, they didn't know what to do. They haven't been in the game in so long. They were a little confused. Ivan Pace kind of stumbled in his stance. Deontay Smith-Moore kind of stumbled out of the mesh for the fullback. Then he kind of stumbled in open field.
Have the past 2 or 3 touchdowns been all defensive?
All 3 have been defensive.
Yeah, the past 3 touchdowns, all defensive for the Cardinals. Back under center, Deontay Smith-Moore fakes the handoff, keeps it himself. He's going to pick up about 3 yards on. Well, we'll give him 4 yards on the play. Well defensed by Milford, but Deontay Smith-Moore still picked up 4 yards, so it'll be second down and 6.
Yeah, they stretched out. He runs to the short side. Nobody blocked there. He was on his own. Max Ward comes up from his safety position, but Deontay Smith-Moore gets small and gets past him.
So ball sitting on the Milford 32-yard line. Second down and 7. Man in motion. Deontay Smith-Moore drops back, looks to pass, throws it to a wide-open J.J. Davis at the 20, and he walks into the end zone for another Cardinal touchdown.
A great read by Moore right there. They've gone play action a lot from about the 30-yard line, and they look for that middle seam, and they chase the running back who was running the post pattern. The safety comes over, and J.J. Davis is so wide open.
He could not have been more wide open.
As soon as that play developed, it didn't even get past the mesh, and you just hear Coach Rod next to us in the booth just go, wheel, 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 and he finds the wheel. And a lot of times when he has a man that wide open, Deontay Smith-Moore kind of is under pressure, right? As the snap is back, kick is good. Cardinals lead 42-7 with 7:22 to play in the first half. A lot of times, Deontay Smith-Moore gets that, and just by the design of the play, he doesn't have a lot of time, right?
No, he doesn't.
And he has to force it, and it's a low-line drive, and sometimes it's on target, sometimes it's not. This time he has all day to throw, and he can just loft it to J.J. Davis. J.J. Davis never has to go fast.
He just
never has to go fast. Normally he is fast. This time he doesn't have to go fast.
And all season, it has been that little seam pattern right up there to, drawing a blank, what's his name, 28? Freddie Johnson, but they collapsed on Freddie Johnson, and there was three guys covering him. But you're right. We have the privilege up here. I don't know if it's a privilege all the time, but we're right next to the booth, and there's a small pane of glass between us and the coaches. But all
you heard as soon as that ball was snapped was wheel, slowly crescendoing up from Coach Rod.
So 42-7. There are still 7 minutes left in this quarter.
I'm trying to look to see the most points they've given up on the year is 40 to Kings.
They gave up more, I believe, against Princeton.
No,
that game counts as
it says, I think 34-16 was the game. So close.
Okay, no, Dixie Heights. No, they won by.
No, they won that game 50-14.
Mangold kicks off into a stiff wind, and look at the wind kill that ball.
Yep, it caught at the 15-yard line by the Milford Eagles. He takes it up to the 20. He's going to take it out to about the 20. We'll call it the 23, and that's where.
And that's how much holding the ball. He caught it at the 15,
and they made 8 yards.
And he made it. It's not like he wasn't trying to make a play. It's just the ball holding up in the wind so much.
That's unbelievable. The goalposts. They're not bending over, but they are swaying in the wind mightily, and Colerain's kicking right into the wind. The good news, again, when we get to the second half, Mangold will have the wind at his back, as if Colerain needs another advantage in a game where they're up by 5 touchdowns.
That's one of the advantage of deferring to the second half.
Exactly why they did it.
A little different lineup right here. They've gone 5 wide, and they've got the big tight end in the slot.
I'm surprised they haven't done more of this. They've been really using him more for pass protection than anything, but at this point...
Hunter Johnson drops back with 5 wide, looks the pass, throws it deep down the field. It's kind of out there, and it's over the intended target. I believe that's Kells out there.
But that is Kells, but the closest man to the ball was Alondro Kendrick. And that might have been the strategy. The strategy earlier was use Cameron, or is it Cameron, right?
Cameron Kells, you're right.
No,
Oh, I'm sorry. Cameron Foster.
Cameron Foster. A couple Camerons.
Yep.
Connor. No, it's Connor Foster.
Oh, Connor. My apologies.
Yeah, it's Connor Foster.
You're right.
They've been more using him as extra pass protection.
Yep.
Right, keeping him inside as an extra tight end, and that's probably what he's going to play at the next level at Northwestern.
Well, he's gotten 2 pass attempts to him in the middle field.
But I think they've been using him more as a blocker.
Luke Bolden is doing a great job.
I think at this point they realized we're not going to stop that pass rush. Let's just get our best player out there and try to make him a play out in open space.
So once again, empty set backfield. Hunter Johnson takes the ball, drops back to pass, and he's going to look for this all night. He throws it across the middle. It pops up into the air, intended for the aforementioned Connor Foster, and falls to the turf harmlessly. It'll be 3rd down.
And we saw this on the last possession by the Milford Eagles. They ran Foster underneath on a little flat drag across the middle. Luke Bolden tackled him right away. This time, same play, other way. Eric Phillips is there right away, but instead of making the tackle, he knocks the ball out of his hands, and he never even has to make the tackle.
Yeah, crossing with the slot receiver, a little bit of rub route, as great defense switching off on the man.
3rd down and 10 at their own 23-yard line, trailing 42-7. The Milford Eagles drop back, rolling to his left, throwing it, and it is incomplete. Intended for the wide receiver coming across the field, number 2, Dylan Hughes. It'll be 4th down and 10. On comes the punting unit.
Well, as a reminder for everyone, there's still 6 minutes. I thought we were closer to halftime than we are.
No, we have 7 minutes.
Remind everyone we'll go silent at halftime, and we'll have halftime scores and stats. They have some pretty interesting scores out there across the state. Have not an interesting score in the other game in the region, but a very interesting situation unfolding at Elder Lakota East.
That game's being played at Mason.
Yes.
Yep. So Milford brings it in tight. There's a snap back for the punt. He's got it. No pressure applied by the Cardinals.
That's returnable. Oh, look at the wind get that one.
Yep, they took it right over the head of Sincere Jones, and he's just got to stay away from it now. That's an unfortunate situation, but a great break for Milford as the ball rolls all the way down inside the 10, near the 6-yard line. Shades of Hilliard-Davidson, 2006 fellas?
Well, I'll tell you what, ever mention that game again.
Oh, my God. As much as the wind affected the short kick going the other direction, you had two good return guys back there, and they had their hands up, and they were ready to catch the ball, and it landed 12 yards behind them.
Yep.
So what's 45 plus 27?
That would be 72.
72-yard punt.
Again. Here you go. He just announced 72-yard punt.
And then when you hear, I don't know if you hear in the mic, our ambient mic's picking up a lot of wind. We're bringing
well, that lets you know the situation here. That's how windy it is outside.
Yeah.
Hey, don't do that again.
So the Cardinals get a first down and 10 on their own 5-yard line. So this is dangerous. They've got to be careful. Secure the football.
Wide splits.
Yep, takes the ball, fakes the handoff to Ivan Pace Jr., pitches it to Sincere Jones, who catches it in the end zone, stays on his feet and takes it out. Let's see where they mark him down at about the 7-yard line. So just a couple of yard gain there for the Cardinals.
Well, interesting. A lot of times when a team is backed up against their own end zone, they pack it in. They just try to power straight ahead. This time, Colerain tries to spread out the defense and get their speed to the outside. Give them a little bit more room to work with. The ball's going to be spotted at the 7. They need to get to the 16.
This would be fantastic if they could find a way to eat up a good portion of this clock and
just score again.
Just score.
I don't care.
Of course, they'll get the ball to start the second half. There's Deontay Smith-Moore, hands it to Ivan Pace. He takes it around the edge, tries to get out of a tackle, and he does, and takes it out to about the, about the 17-yard line. Enough for the first down. So good play by Deontay Smith-Moore, and he kind of reached there to get that into Ivan's gut, but he took it and he picked up the first down out to, they're going to give him the 18-yard line.
Well, Milford did a good job. They crashed inside the tackle there, and I think they took away the initial running lane. Ivan Pace just showed patience, got to the outside, picks up the first down.
Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. Colerain leading 42-7 here late in the second quarter.
Back traditional wing formation.
There's a counter to J.J. Davis. Well defensed. 85's out there, but he's not going to be able to stop J.J. He takes it, and he's going to pick up 8, maybe 9 yards on that first down run all the way to the other side of the field.
Yeah, Connor Foster stayed home, the big 6'8". But when you're 6'8", your foot speed, your turnover is not as much as J.J. Davis, and he just kind of gave him a little bit of hip and got outside of him.
And like we said, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's a good player. He's a fine high school tight end, but his future at Northwestern is going to be offensive tackle. So he's not the fleetest of foot, and J.J. Davis just put the gas on there to what should have been a 3-4 yard loss, turned it into a 7-8 yard gain.
Second down and 2.
On their own 26-yard line now, back in the I formation. Deontay Smith-Moore takes the ball, fakes a handoff, keeps himself, dives forward, picks up the first down, out to the 28-yard line. Needed to, and he got to. 5:30 to go in the first half. Clock stops to move the chains. And again, as a reminder, with a 42-7 lead, assuming that it stays that, or if it were to grow, as we start the second half, Colerain will, for the 10th week in a row, have a running clock on their opponent.
We got to get there first.
That is a true statement. That's why I quantified my statement with if. Again, tight wing formation. Deontay Smith-Moore takes it, keeps himself, finds some running room in the middle, makes 2 or 3 guys miss, takes it out to the 40-yard line. It'll be another first down for the Cardinals. 12-yard run for Deontay Smith-Moore.
Yeah, Sincere Jones, it looked like they were trying to run the jet sweep right there. Milford jumps up, and the defensive end takes away the lane, and Sincere reads to the inside.
If you commit everyone to the outside when you see the play, and a lot of teams, they'll jump. They see a formation, they see a motion from Colerain, they'll jump. But if everyone jumps to the outside, Sincere Jones goes like, well, there's no one in the middle anymore.
Good vision right there. You just have a feel for it. You find an empty lane. There's no white shirt there. Run to the green.
Check Adams, an 11-yard run. Ball marked at the 39-yard line. First down and 10. Again, tight formation. J.J. Davis in motion, and immediately the defensive lineman from Milford decided to jump.
Unfortunately for him, he is not the center, so he cannot go past the line of scrimmage until the ball is snapped.
Is that number 12?
Yeah. He attempted to do that. Now, I know they're struggling to stop Colerain offensively, and you're trying to get away with anything, but you can't get away with that.
Yeah, I know. Starting the back.
I know Colerain wants to really eat this clock. Milford really committing all the guys up the line. This would be a great little tight end release.
J.J. Davis in motion. He gets to the pitch. He takes it. He looks for some room. Surprised. He's going to pick up enough for the first down. He's still on his feet. I almost half expected a block in the back there on the far side, but no flag on it.
And again, they got a first down on the play, but again, this will be about the third or fourth time, and he's done a great job since he really struggled weeks 1 and 2 with this assignment. Freddie Johnson, the young sophomore, in a position, he's the wide receiver on this team, and he's accustomed all the way up to a freshman year to being the guy with the ball.
All right, there was a flag on the play.
They did throw it on Freddie Johnson. So he's done a real job, but he has struggled tonight, really on the edge. That's the third or fourth time where the Cardinals could have had a touchdown, but he can't hold on to his block.
He's not holding his blocks.
This time he did. Not only did he hold on to his block, not only did he not hold on to his block, he also held on the play, but the flag was way out there.
Yep.
So
that's what I thought I saw.
10-yard penalty
takes it back to the line of scrimmage.
Takes it back to the original line of scrimmage.
So first down and 10 again. Basically a do-over. Ball on the 39-yard line. Deontay Smith-Moore drops back to pass. There's some pressure. He stays on his feet. He avoids 2 tackles, and he's going to pick up 2 yards on the play. So out to the 41-yard line. Under 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go here in the second quarter.
Hey, Smith-Moore didn't see him. Freddie Johnson slipped out of the backfield right there and got behind the safety.
And much like we heard wheel, we heard Freddie on the booth next to us.
So he does pick up 2 yards on the play.
And it kind of looks like it wasn't actually the original line of scrimmage. It actually looks like they've lost a couple yards, but they had enough for the first down that they moved the chains.
Right. So second down and 8. Ball on the 41-yard line. Deontay Smith-Moore hands it off to Ivan Pace Jr., and he's hit right at the line of scrimmage. Well defensed by the Milford D-line.
Well, it was a good design that stopped that defense. They left a huge gap, no tackle over the guard right there. So the Colerain sees that and feeds it to the fullback right there, but both linebackers blitz through that hole. So the defense's formation almost baited Colerain into running that play. Good design.
Well, that's a break for Milford. They call an official's timeout. 37's got to come off the field for whatever issue, but
he's pointing to his elbow.
Well, it's a blood issue then.
I don't know if we've got something with this turf. That's like the third guy that's come out for blood.
Well, it's really cold.
Clock starts again. 2 minutes and 48 seconds to go.
Tightens the skin.
Here in the first half, Colerain up
surface.
42-7. Third down and 6. Snap is back. Deontay Smith-Moore looks a pass. He throws it up in the air, and it just gets intercepted. I don't know if it got tipped.
Yeah, his arm got hit when he put it in. That ball just popped straight up in the air. Jacob Turner, your linebacker, he had him wide open, but got hit on the elbow, and I believe C.T. Phillips is celebrating a little bit too much, down 42-7.
Well, when you're down 42-7 and something like that happens, you get really excited.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Last week it was 35-7. Let's not count them out. They can come back.
Absolutely. I mean, they're at the 42-yard line. And one pass here over a DB, and all of a sudden they've got another touchdown.
Their one scoring drive was on a short field. They started the drive on the 40-yard line, the only score of the night. So they're in an area, a little bit of adrenaline pickup, get a little bit inspired by a big defensive play.
So two turnovers against Colerain in the first half might mean more if Milford didn't have 4. Still +2 on the turnover margin for the night now. Hunter Johnson back in. Now he does have Cameron Kells in the backfield. 2 wide receivers split out far wide. Looks to pass, throws it again. He's on his back foot, and it's going to be over the head of his intended target by, 7 yards? 10 for Dylan Hughes.
And if you saw there, you can look at it now. There was just one of the flags on the goalpost going. Now both are blowing right in the direction they're throwing. So Sear Jones looked up. He was kind of on his louder milk out there, step for step. But then all of a sudden he just kind of let off the coverage, and the receiver thought he was wide open. But when he looked up, Sear Jones looked up first and saw that ball had just carried in the air, and it wasn't Hunter Johnson's fault. That ball just the wind took it, and not much he could do.
I mean, the U.S. flag is completely. I'm not sure what word to use there. It's not inappropriate. Second down and 10 on the Colerain 42-yard line. Snap is back. Hunter Johnson looks to pass, got some pressure. He throws it, and it is off the intended target's hands, number 18. There is Jake Ayler. It'll be third down and 10.
And that's one of those ones where both players kind of made a mistake, kind of didn't. Johnson found the right player, threw a decent pass, but it's also a little off, a little behind. It hit Ayler in the hands, but he has to reach across his body from where he's running, so he can't get a good feel for the ball. But, again, incomplete, 3rd and 10.
The story tonight has been the play of this Colerain defense, as it seems to be every week. 3 defensive touchdowns for Colerain tonight, leading to half of the Cardinals' points. They're up 42-7. There's a handoff to Cameron. And Kelsey, I was just saying he's going to try and squeak his way through that line, pick up a few yards, and that's all they got, maybe 2. It's going to be 4th down and 8.
Yeah, Colerain defense picked up on something there, I believe, by formation. They left the slot receiver uncovered and really brought the linebackers in anticipating the run right there. Not sure what if they saw something by formation, by call, but made the right read there and forces another 4th down.
Maybe they've just seen if he's rolling one way, he's not going to look back the other way, so no need to cover it.
Colerain still with 2 timeouts left.
Well, you got to believe that Milford's going to call a timeout here. They're letting the clock just run.
With this win and when they're back, I know they haven't attempted a field goal this year, but this is Grace. You could probably kick one from about 85 yards with the right.
No offense to Grace Ertl. I'm sure she's a fantastic kicker, but I don't think she has the leg for.
And I don't think I'm being a little
suspicious. 8-yard field goals
with this wind.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate because she certainly she'll have the wind in her face if they're thinking about. But at this point, you're not kicking field goals. I mean, you're down 35 points. You've got to be able to put the ball in the end zone, and they've got the ball now, 4th down and 9. Presumably making a decision on what play they want to run.
Well, and it's huge, too, because this possibly could be your last possession of this half. And if you don't score here, you're starting the second half with Colerain with possession and a running clock.
Yep.
So you want something here.
Got to get
to
points.
Prolong the game.
You need to get points here just to negate the running clock.
Exactly. All right.
I know you said that, but you didn't explain why they need points.
The Eagles back out onto the field after the timeout. 1:34 left to go. Again, we will go silent once we get to halftime to collect stats as well as scores from around the city and state and bring those back to you with 5 minutes remaining on the scoreboard clock. Hunter Johnson drops back, looks to pass. They're going for it on 4th down. He throws it over the middle of the field, and it is in and out of the hands of number 18, and it will be a turnover on downs for the Cardinals.
Jalen Thomas in coverage right there. In passing situation, they bring in Thomas. Not as big, but a lot of speed right there. The pass was there. Nice play. Jake Gaylor was there, but Jalen Thomas knocks it out of his hands.
Cardinals will take over 1:27 to play in the half and 2 timeouts to work with. Interesting to see what they do here. Do they just stick to the option and try to get the 1st down, or they come straight out and spread it out?
I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to play. They're going to play tight formation, hand the ball off to Ivan, or Deontay's going to keep it. 1 wide receiver out wide. J.J. Davis in motion. There's the handoff to Ivan Pace, and he's right through the middle. He's got 1 man to beat, and he puts him into the ground. He's going to cross the field, pick up a blocker, and he's headed to the corner of the end zone. 5, touchdown Cardinals! Ivan Pace Jr. puts 6 more on the board.
And the floodgates open right up the middle, no one there. He had one-on-one with the safety, and you're like, Ivan Pace is going to try to run this guy over. Puts a little stiff arm and tries to run to the corner, beats the man in open space. He's got 1 man left in front of him, and we're going to give him a hard time about struggling on the edge blocking. Freddie Johnson runs ahead, gets a good block to seal into the inside. Pace gets it to the corner of the end zone and takes it in for 6.
Yeah, your safety from the Milford Eagles, Owen Martin, was back there one-on-one. You got a 220-pound Ivan Pace running right at you. You're going low. You're trying to get an angle, but Pace makes him pay. Wow!
That's an unbelievable wind. The extra point sails wide right. That's ridiculous.
And just to put it in context, a lot of times on extra points, to make sure that it's not blocked at the line of scrimmage, Mango kind of chips it really high in the air.
Yeah.
Not very long or powerful kick, but he just wants to make sure it's centered and make sure it's there. That ball, I don't even know if it went. He kicked it plenty fine. I don't even know if it would have went over the crossbar.
I don't think it would have.
Did it cross?
It went. I don't think it
crossed the end zone.
It did.
It went through the end zone, but I don't know if it would have been enough. It not only did it not get farther enough to the crossbar, it went and held it and almost pushed it right, and almost if it was swirled a little bit and kept it in the air.
That ball it landed about 45 degrees to the right.
That's crazy. That wind down there is crazy, and unfortunately,
it's not like he shanked it or anything.
No,
it was beautiful.
That's why I was stunned and just yelled, "Wow!" Because I got an angle here at the goalpost, and it just made a right turn, Clyde.
Well, you heard it. You heard it here in the whole press box, but there were probably half a dozen people down there that just went, "Wow!" That ball was going right through the uprights, and then whoop.
You know, we're warm here in this booth, but it does look like the wind has picked up.
So Mango gets his foot on this one, and
watch this one stop.
Yep, it's dropped right before the 15, picked up by the Milford Eagles. Going to run wide and going to run around 3 Cardinals before he takes it out of bounds up at the 35-yard line. So good return for number 2, Dylan Hughes.
Yeah, that ball just stopped, and I tell you what, he got a nice little one-hop right into his arm. Colerain Cardinals coverage team done a great job all season. Might have overrun that a little bit. Lost outside contain, but you know when you have your best return taken out to the 35 at the high school level, I'll take it every time.
That was a 59-yard touchdown run for Ivan Pace Jr.
That's a long ways.
It is a long ways.
It's almost half the field.
It's more than half the field.
Oh, my head. Oh,
so Milford Eagles take over. They 1:11 left in the halftime. They still have a couple timeouts left.
There's a handoff right over the middle. Well defensed out to the 39-yard line, which is where they're going to mark it. So a
timeout.
Cardinals. 4-yard gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
And if you're Colerain, I know you're up big, but you got to get as many scores in here as possible. You need to put this game away. We've seen it a couple weeks ago against X. We saw it a couple weeks ago against Fairfield. Yes, you get a running clock, but if they cut that margin, the running clock stops, and you want to get out of here as quickly as possible, minimize your possible injury risk.
Absolutely.
And move on to the next week.
No question.
So the more points you can put on here in the first half, the less chance there is, hey, they scored on the 2s. Hey, they scored coming in, and that shuts off the running clock, and we got to wait even longer. So
Well, and you've got a couple guys like Eric Phillips who've been kind of banged up right now. It's his first action back. You got a couple two-way players, Ivan Pace and Sincere Jones. Anytime that they don't have to play 4 quarters.
Exactly.
At
this time of the year, it's critical. There's a snap back. There's a handoff once again to Kells. He's going to try and take it across the middle. Lowers his head and going to get a few yards. Not enough for the first down. Takes it out to about the 42-yard line.
Timeout, Colerain again.
Under a minute to play, 55 seconds.
And the other thing to think about,
that's their third and final timeout.
They were this close to blocking 1 punt.
I know, right?
And with the wind, we've seen it in our own history. The wind can mess up the punt snap.
Out in Mason against Wayne a couple years ago. That was ugly.
Well, Mason is just a wind tunnel. I mean, that place is. Although I got to be honest, I never really realized this tonight, but so is St. X here.
Well, I don't think as much as stadium design is just the time of year. As we've seen,
but where you have the stadium situated, where your stands are, and I mean that certainly does direct wind.
You have this giant side,
this huge shield over here that's preventing any crosswinds. But you're right. I mean, this time of year, you expect to see blustery winds in Ohio. It's just the way it is.
I'd like to thank the St. X Bombers, the gracious hosts here, letting us share their home side, and thank their boosters for building the stadium with 97 steps and not an elevator.
I didn't. I needed to take a minute when I got up to the platform pregame. I had to take a minute. I'm like, yikes!
So here we are, 3rd down and 3. Colerain out of timeouts.
Ball on their own 42-yard line. The Eagles take it. There's the handoff once again. He's going to have enough for the first down.
Oh, get out of bounds! Thank you.
You got the first down now. They're just going to run the ball around the clock.
That's true. Eric Phillips collapsed inside. This time they kind of didn't block Eric Phillips on that last play, and they let him come in and run onto the outside of him. But he does step out of bounds after the first down. 49 seconds left at their own 49-yard line. You know, this is close enough with this win behind his back. They could take a couple shots deep.
Oh, there's no doubt they probably will. Because at this point, even if it's a turnover, it's so deep in Colerain territory.
Yeah, Colerain is going just 3 defensive linemen.
There's a handoff across the middle again.
Dante Corleone is having himself a game tonight.
You see that? He just shed that block.
Shoves the blocker off, makes the tackle at the line of scrimmage, and just a 1-yard gain for Kell.
Yeah, the 6'1", 220-pound sophomore. Coach Bolton talked about him earlier in the year to keep an eye on him. Kind of reminded him of the Bird brothers, and that's a high praise here at Colerain.
That is a tremendous compliment. If you don't know who the Bird brothers are, then look up Colerain Comet 2004.
Gatorade Player of the Year.
Yep, Ohio Football Gatorade Player of the Year.
Who?
Terrell Bird.
Oh yeah, he was good.
Yeah, he was pretty good. Hunter Johnson drops back to pass. There's Corleone putting pressure on him. He gets him.
That's a backwards pass. Yep.
And he's going to get tackled.
But you know, Colerain has no timeout.
Yeah, Milford player picked it up. And
here's the thing, though.
He gets tackled at the 30-yard line.
And that'll be the last of the half. whatever positive stats you had going into that, you lost maybe 30 yards of rushing around that one play alone.
So that's what that is. That's a negative rush play.
That's
So
a
at the
negative
end of the
rush
first half, the Colerain Cardinals lead the Milford Eagles 48-7. We're going to step away, take a few minutes to refresh ourselves, get stats and scores, and we'll be back to see you with 5 minutes left to go on the scoreboard clock.
Marching band is under the direction of Mr. Jacob Page and is helped.
And we're back.
Second half stats and scores here at Balaban Field in beautiful St. X. Your Colerain Cardinals leading the Milford Eagles. Oh, it's a big one, 48-7. Let's look at some stats. Milford with 7 first downs, Colerain's 11. But look at this, 17 carries for Milford for only 11 yards. They have 117 yards passing. They've run 44 offensive plays against Colerain for only 128 yards. Colerain has run 24 plays for 261 yards, 229 of those running. Leading rushers for the Colerain Cardinals, Ivan Pace has 6 carries, 88 yards. J.J. Davis, 4 for 74. Deontay Smith-Moore, 8 for 34. Sincere Jones,
I'm sorry, I
4 for
apologize,
33.
Dad, to interrupt you. We missed it. We're not going to get a shot of it. But we've been talking about how windy it is out there. The Colerain kickers are out there warming up for the second half.
And this really plays well on an all-audio broadcast.
I'm explaining why everyone besides you is laughing.
Because I can't see the kickers
you
from
didn't
this
see
angle.
it. Cameron Archer's practicing kickoffs where the ball took just like a complete turn and hit the Milford Eagle mascot right in the head. So if the Milford Eagles weren't having
he's practicing kicking off,
and somehow it hit the Milford Eagle in the head.
Oh, is he kicking across the field?
Yeah, he's kicking across the field. If the Milford
Eagle
is getting ready. If the Eagles weren't having a bad enough first half,
we could show this
as it was. No, we can't because
the
pole's right in the middle of it. There's your Eagle.
All right, so let's get back to the stats. Yeah.
If it wasn't bad enough for the Eagles tonight, the Milford Eagles even getting beat up.
Yeah. Okay, where were we? Leading rushers for the Milford Eagles. Cameron Kells, ECC Player of the Year, 16 carries, just 29 yards, and a long of 7. That's only 1.8 yards a carry. Passing, Hunter Johnson, 9 completions on 27 attempts, 4 interceptions, 3 of them going for touchdowns. He's thrown 1 touchdown of 34 yards, and he's thrown a total of 117 yards. On the other hand, Deontay Smith-Moore is only throwing 50%. He's 1 for 2, but that one went 32 yards to J.J. Davis for a touchdown. Receiving, Jake Gaylor has 4 receptions for 29 yards. Dylan Hughes, 3 for 78 yards, and that 134-yard touchdown. Leading on defense, Luke Bolden, your leading tackler for the Colerain Cardinals, with 9 tackles. Dante Corleone, he's got 3 tackles and a sack, or 1 tackle for a loss. Deshaun Pace had 3 tackles, and Ivan Pace just 3 tackles. For the Milford Eagles, Jacob Turner with 7, Hayden Johnson with 5, C.T. Phillips with 3, and Dustin Loudermilk with 3. So Randy, got some scores?
We do have some scores from around the state, and they're changing as they're going because most of the teams already in the second half. Elder was up 21-0 at halftime over Lakota East. The winner of that game plays the winner of this game. But Lakota East takes Elder's first possession of the second half Pick 6, Lakota East puts a point on the board. Extra point no good. Elder leads Lakota East 21-6. Of note, though, GCL Player of the Year and Elder starting quarterback Michael Bittner did leave the game, and he's been reported with crutches on the sidelines. So, interesting to see how the rest of that game plays out. Elsewhere, Northmont was up 7-0 on Pickerington Central. PC has turned it around. Pickerington Central 16, Northmont 7 at halftime. The other matchup in Region 3, Hilliard-Davidson fell behind to Springfield 7-0. 2 unanswered scores. Hilliard-Davidson 14, Springfield 7. In Division 2, Troy leads Anderson 28-17. Winton Woods all over Little Miami 31-0. In Region 2, in Division 1, that's the upper left part of the state of Ohio, Dublin Kaufman leads Toledo Whitmer 23-14. Olentangy Liberty leads Reynoldsburg 10-0. In Region 1, up north, Euclid has led St. Ed's twice in the game. St. Ed's pulled away. Euclid's coming back 28-21. Ed's over Euclid. Elsewhere, it was 10-6 right before halftime. Now it is 30-6. Mentor over Canton McKinley.
Is Mentor's quarterback back?
Yes, he's back. Elsewhere in the lower divisions around the state of Ohio, Kettering Bishop Alter leads Hamilton Baden 13-0. Middletown Fenwick and Wapakoneta are tied at 17 apiece. Maslin Washington is leading Whitehall Yearling. Shout out to Whitehall, 17-9 at halftime. And the one that was a little bit of a surprise, it's kind of turned around right before half. Garfield Heights was leading Akron Archbishop Hoban 7-0. Hoban has clawed back and took the lead. At halftime, it's Hoban 14, Garfield Heights 7. So the big notes here are Bittner hurt, Elder up 2 scores, Big Central up, Davidson up, Hoban in a struggle they haven't had all year, and Whitehall keeping it close with Maslin.
You know, we still have another 2 quarters left here to play. Colerain play the winner of the Lakota East and Elder game. We don't know location yet. We've heard kind of some talk around here that might come back to this stadium. They might put a bid into it, and it all depends on who.
Yeah, we were talking with the host, and they put in the bid. So, depending on the situation, we could be right back here next week. And except for the massive amount of steps to get up here, I don't think we'd have any objections.
Yeah, the steps are good, but the food is great, and it's nice and warm and toasty in here. As we go back to getting ready for the second half.
Ooh, we got some more updates from the YouTube chat. Hilliard-Davidson is now up 19-7 over Springfield. I don't know how they got to 19, but somehow they got to 19. Not going to question it. Coldwater, another low division team, leads St. Henry 13-6.
Well, when you say low division, it doesn't mean less than Fort. It just means not as many kids, right?
I just mean... I'm done.
Just got an update from Mike Rourke via text message, our other production engineer. He's listening from Orlando. He says he's heading to the pool, but he'll check back in later. He's heading to the pool.
Your mouth talking about swimming pools, all right? Mayan Williams just broke a 60-yard touchdown. He's now 38-0 Winwood.
He's pretty good, that Mayan Williams guy.
Level of competition out.
That's true. I'm not going to deny that.
Ooh, big upset here. Big score, excuse me. Tippecanoe was eliminated in the regular season, so they have no score tonight.
Huh. Kind of full of sound and fury, signifying nothing there, big fella.
Well, here's the thing. When we have a very close matchup, we don't have to fill time, but unfortunately, or fortunately, actually fortunately, times like this, we just have to make stuff up. And that's the case here. We're just going to start making stuff up.
Nothing wrong with that.
Not really.
We're under 20 seconds to go here.
Make stuff up is the wrong word. We're just kind of find interesting things that have no relevance on anything.
There's nothing wrong with that.
90-yard touchdown by St. Ed's.
That's Castleberry, their running back.
You'd say so.
He's quite talented. Announcement here at St. Xavier High School. The game will now move to a running clock. The 10th week in a row that the Colerain Cardinals have built at least a 30-point lead at some point during the game to initiate, at least I should say in the second half, to initiate the running clock. So with a 48-7 lead, the clock will only stop on change of possession and injury.
And Milford will be kicking off this half to the Colerain Cardinals, kicking into that very stiff wind that they have. Interesting if, you can't hold anything back at this point. You try to onside kick this early. Hope your defense stops Colerain. Colerain has only stopped themselves on offense one time on the fumble.
I feel like any kick they do is going to end up looking like an onside kick.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine that the number 10 who's kicking the ball off here, this is Vince Ringland, is going to end up trying to put the ball in the air because, I mean, JJ and Sincere are lined up at the 15-yard line, which is exactly where they should be. Got two more up men lined up at the 25. Here comes the kick to start the second half, and it is bounced into the air, caught by number 22, Jalen Thomas, and the Cardinals will start off 1st and 10 at their own 30, we'll call it the 37.5-yard line.
And I know the Pace brothers are really good defenders, but it's not often that you tackle your own teammate there. Jalen Thomas did a good job going up, getting the ball, and he started to look upfield. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, instead of going ahead and blocking, both the Price brothers just kind of each took him by his shoulder pad and said, go down.
Get down,
and
get down.
kind of took him to the turf. So the Cardinals take over at their own 38.
And immediately, Freddie Johnson comes in at the quarterback position. Deontay Smith-Moore out of the game. Ivan Pace Jr. out of the game. There's a speed pitch around the side. J.J. Davis has got it, takes it to the 45-yard line, where he gets tackled out of bounds, but he's going to pick up. They're going to give him the 46, it looks like.
And Sincere Jones also out on offense. That's Tyrus Bradley in at the other wingback.
So the Cardinals have now put in full, what do you call it, Brian, wholesale substitutions?
You know what? It's not too much. You're starting offensive line up there, but normally they start off, this first half with the starters for at least one series, but
Elder has now opened up a 28-6 lead on the back of that turnover deep in Lakota territory. There's a handoff over the middle.
Hamza Abdul-Wahid gets 1 yard.
Yep, he's going to be 1 yard shy, taking up to the 47-yard line. They need the 48 for a first down. It was 3rd down and 1 for the Cardinals.
Freddie should have kept that. I'm just saying.
Freddie, he's a sophomore, right?
Yes.
So one of the favorites, or considered a favorite, to possibly take over this offense upon the graduation of Deontay Smith-Moore and a host of Colerain Cardinals. This team is going to look very, very different next season. But we still got this season to worry about. 3rd down and short for Freddie Johnson, the sophomore. Takes the ball and hands it off to Hamza Abdul-Wahid. He keeps his feet moving. They're going to mark him short by about a yard. Almost no gain on the play. I felt like he got a yard there, but...
Yeah, that's an interesting spot. Not sure if the knee went down first.
Obviously, there's some upset fans about that spot. We apologize for that.
Yeah.
But
of the 75 empty seats in the stands in front of us, the guy with the biggest mouth decided to sit directly below us. So we apologize for anything, and we have to take off our sound mic because of a rude fan. But 4th down and 1. Lawson Sandusky in the kick with the wind at his back.
Let's see how Lawson, he's got a foot. Let's see what he can do with it here. He kicks it straight up, and it's hard to do that, but it takes a huge hop. And look at Luke Bolden trying to will it, kicks it all the way down past the 20-yard line. They'll pick it up at the 19, and that's where Milford will start off. So from the 47 to the 19, that is a 36-yard punt. Thank you.
With no return.
How did you get to 66?
I don't know. I added 19 and 47.
That Kentucky math.
I was getting there.
But it's you pin them back inside their 20-yard line.
Take that every time inside the 20.
Lawson Sandusky came off the field with his head down, looking for his special teams coach. But you're absolutely right. The 19-yard line, you'll take that every time.
Again, change of possession, stop clock. As soon as they set the change, the clock begins to run again.
Starting defense still in for the Colerain Cardinals.
No, not all of them.
You'll start seeing some changes here.
Out of the game.
Ja'Cory Patterson's in there. Deshaun Pace is in there. Sincere Jones. The backfield looks the same. Kendricks is in there. Hunter Johnson's in there. Hands the ball off. Eric Phillips misses the tackle in the backfield. Cameron Kells gets around, but Ja'Cory Patterson is there to clean it up. And he's going to be tackled out of bounds for no gain.
No gain on
the play.
Yeah, Ivan Pace, not on the trainer table, not anything. I think he's just done for the night, at least for the time being.
His Colerain defense really stopping the run that Cameron Kells you talk about. He's got 9 100-yard games and 2 200-yard games. He's run for almost 1,600 yards.
1,600 yards coming into this game. And at halftime, he had how many yards?
He had 16 carries for 29 yards, averaging less than 2 yards a carry.
So obviously the Colerain defense doing their job, what they've done all year. It fakes a handoff, and it passes to number 85. He's going to have enough for the first down. The big 6'8" monster takes it out to the 35-yard line. And this is where you're going to see Milford start to maybe claw back. I mean, again, they're down 41 points, and the clock is not their friend. It's going to continue to run. So don't be surprised if Colerain gives up a touchdown or two here, because really, if you can force the Milford Eagles to eat up a bunch of clock to get all the way down the field just to score once, it really plays right into your favor. There's a handoff across the middle again, and big number 25, Mike Bess, is there and hits him squarely. Kell's credit, he jumps right back up, but that was a big hit by the sophomore, number 25.
Yeah, talk about filling the hole right there.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
There was a little bit of seam there, and Fells come through there, but Mike Bess beat him to the spot, limiting him to 1 yard.
Yeah, I imagine Kell he was pretty excited when he saw that hole open up, and then all of a sudden, Mike Bess was there to say, I wouldn't get too excited.
And like that, another score. Elder leads now 28-6.
These defensive scores?
Nope, they just ran the ball.
Just running the ball straight at him.
Yep.
So he's second down and 9.
Snap is back. Hunter Johnson throws. It is caught. Looking for some room to run. Good spin move, but doesn't fool the Colerain defender. It'll be 3rd down and 8. Picked up 1 yard on the play.
A little tunnel screen to the outside receiver. This is Dylan Hughes trying to come back. Jalen Thomas right there to meet him, limiting him to a 1 yard gain. And then other than the long touchdown pass, Colerain has done a good job limiting this vaunted Milford offense to short passes, not really giving up the big play.
I didn't think at any point this postseason I'd say vaunted Milford offense. But the stats don't lie. But the level of competition clearly is a little different in the ECC versus what it is.
And Mike Bess with a big play.
Yep, gets his hand up on an intended pass on 4th down, bops it up in the air, falls harmlessly to the turf.
That was 3rd down, sets up 4th down.
My apologies, it was 3rd down, sets up 4th down, and on comes the Milford punt team.
Yeah, Connor Foster.
Was he the intended target on that?
No, he's dropping back to kick.
No.
They just hit a bunch of crossing routes going down. The Colerain
set in his zone. Or 86?
No, 85 is walking off the field.
Yeah, 86 is not Foster.
Yeah.
Okay. They don't have an 86 on the roster.
You are correct.
Well, you can look at the name on the stats there and get a name.
Let's see here.
Brian Stevens.
There you go. Snap is back. There's the punt. It's a good punt. Goes over the head of the intended return man, Sincere Jones. He lets it bounce. And it stops right at the 25-yard line. And that's where the Cardinals will take over. 1st down and 10. Clock is stopped for change of possession, but we're already down to 5 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. And look at the wind. Look at the goalpost, guys. The wind is just getting worse.
And after scoring a touchdown, Lakota East fumbles on the next play. Lakota Elder ball deep in East territory.
So that game is probably over. East is not a team that can come back from turnovers, and being down that much is going to be very difficult for them to come back from. So it's probably safe to say that you're looking at a retro game next week, Colerain and Elder for the regional championship. Yet another year where a GCL team finds its way to the regional final.
Freddie Johnson keeps the ball to the outside.
He's looking for some room. He's got some room. He's going to have enough for the 1st down. Takes it all the way up to the 39-yard line. So good run, 14 yards for the sophomore. Playing quarterback tonight, Freddie Johnson here in the second half.
Quick update. Defensive tackle with an interception on the first play of the second half. Pick Central extends their lead over Northmont 23-7.
That's Pickerington Central, the defending state champions, who, again, all of our listeners know Colerain faced last year in the state semis and uncharacteristically turned the ball over 5 times in the second half. Freddie Johnson faked the pitch, kept it himself, and that was a good decision, the young man. Picked up 4 yards on the play.
We saw him earlier in the season a little bit excited when he got into the quarterback, rushing himself. He showed great patience right there.
Yep.
Just strung it out. Milford did a good job stringing it out, but he got what he needed to do, picking up 3 yards.
With this game all but over. Now we're down to 4 minutes in the third quarter with the clock just continuing to run. I mean, each team might get one or two more possessions each.
Yeah, as long as that first half was, this second half should be just much quicker.
Yeah, it's going to fly by. Man in motion. There's a speed pitch backwards. Who was it that got eaten up by the turf monster? That's number 29 for the Colerain Cardinals.
Josh Mason had lots of room on the quick pitch to the outside, and he just fell.
5 foot 10 inch, 160-pound sophomore Josh Mason. You're right, just fell.
And a
turf monster got him right there.
Collective moan from the coaching box right next to us.
He had a blocker in front of him, and I was just going to comment about that, Brad. Colerain coaching staff known for their fiery demeanor here in the box. We normally have to, make sure that the glass is very well soundproof. That time the door was open, we heard them.
I just got a quick update from Twitter.
Because that's what Twitter does.
Third down and 4.
Yeah, there goes 19 now. Takes a speed pitch the other way. There's a block on the outside. He's going to have enough for the first down. He gets that into Milford territory, out of bounds.
First down for Shannon Murray.
Shannon Murray, the 5 foot 7 inch, 150-pound sophomore.
As dominant as Colerain has been in this game, Elder has been just as dominant in their game.
Again?
No, they haven't yet. Not yet. This is just a defensive stat that was posted. Lakota East has 3 turnovers and just 3 first downs in that game. Only score was defensive.
Well, that bodes well for Elder next week, having played Lakota East, of course, a triple option team.
Like 10 years behind in the way they run it.
There's a speed pitch around the side, or excuse me, just a quick handoff on a
jet sweep,
and that is number 21 with the carry on that one. That's Tyrus Bradley, 5'11", 175-pound junior. Again, coming up on 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Colerain up 48-7.
Getting awful close.
Second down and 5. So gain 5 yards on that first down run.
It's the end of the quarter already.
You're right. As long as the first half took, the second half is going to fly by. In the I formation, Hamza Abdul-Wahid fakes the handoff, does Freddie Johnson, takes it and pitches it late to number 21, but he's got it and gets the first down all the way inside the 30. Again, great run by Tyrus Bradley, but even better decision by Freddie Johnson. Pulled the defense to him and at the last second pitched it wide.
If he catches that in stride, he probably scores a touchdown, but he kind of has to slow down, make sure he catches the pitch.
Wasn't a great pitch. It was a little high right at his shoulder.
A little high, but that's not always the quarterback's fault. Sometimes these guys don't get a lot of practice together. You get the spacing and the timing down. You know when to kick it into the gear, how close to play away from your man.
You're absolutely correct with the spacing there, Brandon. He was only about 3 yards away from him when he made that pitch and was surprised he got it that quick. Did a good job hanging on to it, Bradley.
First down and 10 for the Cardinals. There's a handoff, but the ball's on the ground. It's picked up by Milford, and the defensive tackle has got it, and he's loose. He's going to try and score. Colerain offensive player comes back and tackles him, but not until he gets all the way out to the 50-yard line. So turnover there by the second-team Colerain offense, which is a shame. They were really looking good, bringing the ball down the field. Hopeful to see a second-team offensive score, but didn't quite work out. Milford will take over, first down and 10, right at midfield.
Yeah, the defensive tackle, Hayden Oberschlake. How about that one?
And if it wasn't
6 foot, 240-pound defensive lineman, Oberschlake.
And it's a good thing he was a defensive lineman who picked it up and not a running back, linebacker or DB with some speed, because he was tracked down by the sophomore offensive lineman, Kawasi Jones.
So first and 10 for Milford. Under a minute to play here in the third quarter. Get you guys out of here by 9:20 will be the end of this game. Hunter Johnson still in the quarterback. So the starting unit still in for Milford. Number 5 is now in on the backfield, though. Cameron Kell's out of the game. He takes the ball right up the middle. He's going to pick up 2 yards on the play.
You think this second half is going fast? We know they like to run the clock, run the ball control. Hilliard-Davidson Springfield's halfway through the fourth quarter.
Well,
that's without a running clock. It's still 14-7 Davidson over Springfield, but that's the way Davidson.
That's the way Davidson plays.
And it looks like it's going to be like circa 2008, 2010 next week. Colerain Elder setting up to play the winner of Hilliard-Davidson Pickerton Central.
Right. Did Pick Central make the regional final in 2008? Was that the year? I know they did one of those years. I
know, but it's been Hilliard-Davidson Pickerton Central there almost every year for the past. Just like it's always Colerain or a GCL school.
Right.
It's Region 3 has almost become
Well, Wayne was really a power for a few years, right?
But for traditionally, it's Colerain and a GCL from Region 4.
Right.
And it's always Hilliard Davidson and Pickerington Central for Region 3, it seems like. There's been a couple of years where Pick North has made a run, but
they've never made a. Did they? I don't think the Panthers have ever made a regional final, have they?
They made the semifinals the one year. They beat.
Was that against X?
Yeah, it was one of the years that X.
Okay.
Or it might have been the year Elder made it to the finals and lost.
2008.
Or no.
2008.
It might have been one of the times Moeller won state championship. Again, one of the three GSL schools played him in the state semifinals at some point.
Yep.
It was St. X in 2011.
There you go. There's Hunter Johnson with a pass to number 2. Dylan Hughes has got it. Sincere Jones, Jakari Patterson on the tackle, but not before he gets a first down to the Colerain 30.
We've officially started the fourth quarter here.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, you blink and you miss a quarter. So now we're into the fourth quarter. Colerain up 48-7.
Come on, Whitehall. Sorry, I'm trying to get scores.
I understand. You just keep working on that. We'll give you some final score updates here with about 5 minutes left in the game. We'll give you our final scores that we can pull. Again, they won't be final for those games because we're in a running clock, and chances are they're not. So Hunter Johnson's got it. He passes it across the middle.
Where was he throwing that football?
He was intended for number 85, but number 22, J.T., got his hands almost on it, but it was wide.
You have your favorite receiver, and it's hard to not find the 6'8" tight end wide open. But he had 3 defenders right around him, and there was no one covering the flat on that play.
I don't know whether or not you've noticed, but my somewhat novice eyes say that Hunter Johnson likes to lock onto his receiver pretty early.
Quick score update. Maslin scores to take the lead 23-17 over Whitehall.
Oh, my goodness. Maslin having quite a good year. There's a pass, and it is caught and tackled immediately. Number 3, Deshaun Pace on the tackle.
Interesting here that I guess with the size on the outside with the 6'4" Jared Engelman, Sean Pace is kind of playing corner on that play, and Kendricks has moved into almost a slot cornerback position.
So it's now 3rd down and 2. Ball sitting at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, Deshaun Pace, he said over there, he was kind of baiting him for that little slant route, and he got it just a step behind.
Yeah, exactly.
Timeout.
Timeout, Colerain. So Colerain, again, with 10 minutes and 12 seconds left to go here in the game, will move on and win this game, and we'll play next week, presumably, against the Elder Panthers, assuming that they hold on. And that is going to be a game that is going to be one for the ages. I mean, it is always good when Colerain and the GCL team hooks up, and it's been a while since Colerain and Elder have had a regional final.
And the crazy thing about that game will be that more than likely, and we talked to the hosts here earlier when they did a good job signing us up, since that game is between 2 West Side schools, not east up close to that way, they're more than likely going to be right back here next week. Really, all Elder, St. X, Colerain are within a 7-10 mile radius.
10 to 15
more than
miles.
likely, this game will be right here next week.
Yeah, I can't imagine they would put that game all the way out at Mason, which is where Colerain has played in the past. But we've also played, you just never know. I mean, we know that we believe St. X is going to ask for the game, so there's a handoff to number 5. He's going to get enough for the first down, takes it down to the 17-yard line. So if that game is back here next week, you can expect this place to be a full house as well. It should be, for the right to win a regional championship and move on to the state semifinals, the Final Four in the state. And that would be if the Cardinals are able to win next week, it would be their second Region 4 championship in a row and third in the past 4 years.
Couple more score updates. End of the third quarter, Troy 28, Anderson 23. And some offense here up in Columbus. Springfield scored to tie it up, but Hilliard takes the lead 17-14 over Springfield fourth quarter.
It's a good game. Hunter Johnson passes it into the middle. Kendricks was there, knocked it out of the intended target's hands. I believe that was once again number 85 intended for Mr. Foster, and it falls incomplete.
The pressure gets to Johnson. He saw pressure coming, saw a guy, and he just rocketed to him right away. But Kendricks was right there to break it up.
That's an interesting matchup. Kendricks looks in our program of 5'9". He's not 5'9". 5'8" at his biggest, going against the 6'8". Sticks his nose and breaks up the play.
Granted, I don't think he's man. He's just sitting in the zone, but still.
Yeah. Snap is back. Johnson looks to pass, throws it, and it is incomplete. Sincere Jones jumped the route. He don't think he had intention on intercepting that. He got his hand up in there to knock it out. Did exactly the right thing.
And again, I don't know if it's by...
That's Deshaun Pace.
Yeah.
Oh, my apologies.
And again, I don't know if it's because of a height mismatch that they want to do this,
Yep.
or they're just experimenting maybe with a more pass-heavy team to put Kendricks on the inside and maybe put a bigger pace.
Well, with Sincere Jones on the other side, a lot of teams have been throwing at Kendricks, and Kendricks is a good ball player, but just not as big in stature, but a solid tackler.
Interesting that Cameron Kells is not in the backfield. There's a pass into the end zone, and it is knocked down, but there's flags everywhere. And that's
a jump ball into the end zone. Colerain, 2 players there. Milford, 1 player there. The ball is knocked down, but flags on the play.
I know it started to rain, so it might have obstructed. I'm sorry, it hasn't started to rain. It started to snow out there. I know it started to snow, so the vision might have been obscured for the referees, but that was bad.
That was a long way to get to. That was a bad call.
Referees are having a discussion.
They're just discussing.
There's no such thing as uncatchable. So the question is if he's in.
Yeah, the ball hit both the receiver and the defender. It was just a jump ball.
I think the receiver is the one that knocked it down.
Nope, they're going to mark it off against Colerain, half the distance of the goal. Ball's going to go all the way down to the 8.
But it's not an automatic first down, so it'll be third down. No, it is first.
It's first down to go. Automatic first down.
Yeah, the big 3 on the end of the stick is wrong.
So here we go. First down and goal for Milford on the pass interference
you think he would be
play.
more accurate with the electronic scoreboard over there.
You think so, but he's probably freezing. Snap is back to Hunter Johnson. He takes it, hands it off to number 5, who runs wide, looking to get into the end zone. He takes it inside the 5-yard line, takes it and gets tackled at the 2.
Yeah, Caleb Johns, we've seen him pretty much exclusively in the backfield the second half. Not sure if starting running back is hurt. But
Cameron Kells probably just needs a little bit of a break.
So, quick update. In a play that nearly doubles their total yards for the game, a 41-yard pass by Lakota East is followed on the next play by pick 6.
Oh, my goodness.
35-6, Elder now leads East.
That game is over.
34, excuse me.
There's a snap back, number 5. He takes it, pulls himself into the end zone for the score. So Milford puts 6 points at the 6:09 mark of the fourth quarter and pulls it to a 48-13 game.
Yeah, Caleb Johns, the sophomore, 5'10", 195 pounds in the ballgame this half. Showed a little bit of power right there, giving a little bit of extra burst. Maybe a little too late, but
that's a 200-pound sophomore. I mean, that's good. Some time.
He's got a little bit of quicks right there.
Yep. Took it off of left side, and just cut it back up in. So the extra point attempt now. Snap is back. Hold is down. Kick is up.
And just got over.
Good. Grace Ertl with the extra point. Grace for 2 on the night.
She didn't get much of that, and you know what? This time she's not kicking into the wind. She had the wind behind her back. So not sure if maybe without the wind it doesn't get over the goalpost. It cleared it by about the height of a football.
It's still snowing.
Is it snowing?
There's little bits of snow out there.
I think they're flurries.
What are flurries?
What are flurries made of? No.
What are flurries made out of?
I think
water.
Well, let's be clear. What's flurries?
Water. H2O.
In the form of
ice
and
snow.
There you go. It is snowing.
I don't think that really constitutes snowing.
It's snowing.
Are you anxious for the holidays? Do you have your tree up already?
No.
Brandon's an amateur.
There are people that do that right now. I mean, those people should be drawn and quartered. They should be taken out and made fun of.
And those people who have already got multiple trees up in their house.
Yeah, well, come on, seriously. Alex does? Are you kidding?
Our Snapchat guy.
Is that live?
Alex has 14 trees in his house.
What is wrong with you people?
Chris didn't know it, and Alex is a very large man.
It is November 8th, dude, or 9th. What is today? The 9th and the 9th?
What?
Oh, that's just wrong.
All
That's
right.
just wrong on so many levels.
Back to the game. Cardinals lead 48-14. Colerain over Milford.
You have a video of it too?
Chris, we're on the air.
I'm sorry. I know
you
we're
can't
on
talk
the air.
to people who don't have microphones.
You can.
So he went for the onside kick and whiffed on the ball.
Did he go for the onside kick and whiff, or did the wind push it? I think there's some discussion.
So what does that mean? I mean, they blew the whistle.
If it fell off the tee, he gets to re-kick it.
And that's what they're saying right now. The referee blew and said it blew off before he had the attempt to kick it.
So
this is a good spot for a fake punt.
So Vince Wranglin's going to get a little bit. Might have to get a little bit of help right here.
Except there's no punting. No help. He's just going to run back really quick.
I thought Hayden Johnson was going to hold it for him.
Yep, it's just a straight-on kick. He gets to it, and he kicks it, and it is an onside kick. It's not going the 10 yards, though. Colerain falls on it after it goes the 10 yards. And
well, it only went 10 yards because the Milford Eagles hit it forward to get it to 10 yards, so it wouldn't have mattered.
They're not allowed to do, right?
Exactly, it was an early touch that should be called.
Well, it would have if the Milford Eagles would have recovered it, but
right,
they did not.
They did.
So it's not illegal touching until they touch it again. Actually, I don't know. I'm just making things up.
Don't say that, because you sounded like you knew exactly what you were talking about.
I know. I said it. I immediately regret it. I mean, I said it like, but I think I'm wrong. But that would sounded right.
It did. I wasn't going to question it. So first down and 10 for the Cardinals.
Thank you.
Yeah,
everyone
absolutely.
for making it all the way through.
Yeah, no, you absolutely should. Hey, there's still 6 minutes left in this game.
And if you'd like to see this game again, we posted the replay, and we'd like to thank our cameraman from Waycross Community Media. He's on top of the bleachers.
Yeah, Mark has been up there all by himself all game long with a single camera.
And he volunteered for this.
There's Freddie Johnson with a speed pitch back, or a pitch back to number 19. He's got it, looking for some room, and it's difficult when you pitch the ball backwards 7 yards to get a whole lot there.
And then it's difficult if you're Shannon Murray that you stop, try to dance through people, and then go the other way, and then realize, oh, there's the rest of the defense coming in.
Right, so loss of 1 yard on the play.
Interesting. In Kentucky,
yeah,
Cooper takes over. They're trailing Connor 20-19.
Wow, that's a close game. I knew that would be a close game. I expected Connor to win that one, though, a little bit more handily than that. Did you say anything on coming to Catholic?
Nope, I have not.
Ooh. He said interesting in Kentucky in the same sentence.
How about that?
I know. Here's a quick update. Fumble on a Euclid takes a touchdown to tie the game at 28 against St. Ed's.
Wow.
Freddie's going to throw the ball.
And it's gone! Oh, my goodness, Freddie Johnson with a pass completion to number 18. Get that man's number. That's Avante Scales, the 6 foot, 170-pound junior. It'll be a first down for the Cardinals in the red zone.
All right.
Sorry. Got really excited.
I got really excited.
Did you just yell, Freddie's going to throw it?
And then the ball, he threw it into the wind, so the ball just kind of hung in the air forever.
Yeah. And Avante, stops and then reaches back to catch it.
As we update was saying.
I'm sorry, did Freddie Johnson have more passing yards right now than... Oh, no, J.J. Davis had that lunchtime pass.
So Euclid ties it with St. Ed's at 28. On the ensuing kickoff, St. Ed's fumbles it. First down Euclid at the St. Ed's 29.
Holy moly.
So Colerain with first down at the 17?
Yep.
Hamza Abdul,
he takes it up the middle. Offensive line still
for Hamza. There's only, with the second team, everyone's a little off, not as much practice. Your athletes on the edge and then in space can kind of make up for poor execution offensively. When you're the fullback on the dive, there's not a lot you could do to make up for the execution up front.
3 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in the game. Colerain up 48-14. Second teamers with another chance here inside the red zone. Try and get a score to their credit. Or if nothing else, just run out the clock. If they can pick up one first down, they'll get it. There goes number 29 in motion. There's a counter around the side. There
was a lot of people in motion right there.
Yeah.
and here's the thing for Colerain. You can only have one person in motion. So this is going to be a penalty. As Hector Lopez got the carry.
Yeah, Hector Lopez, we've seen a great story. The 5'4", 125-pound senior.
Captain
on the team. Is a great story we've got on wearecolerain.com's homepage. Go to read it. A very inspirational young man. Finally gets a chance to come in the game and get a carry.
It's not on our homepage. It's on Mike Dyer.
It's on I thought we posted it on ours too.
No, we retweeted it on Twitter, of course. But yeah, Mike Dyer and Scott Springer and all. I mean, take a second here, and we're not doing it justice with 3 minutes left in the game. But we're very lucky to have great preps coverage in this city. We really, truly are. And with guys like Springer and Dyer and all the others that do good stuff.
They declined the penalty, so they'll take the yardage. It'll be 3rd down and 12 for the Cardinals.
There's Freddie Johnson, takes it around the corner. Can pick up a few positive yards, get back to the original line of scrimmage.
And Chris, you're asking, you shall receive from the YouTube chat. Tim Johnson wants to let you know that CovCaf is up 43-8.
Good grief. It's funny with CovCast because they just kind of turned it around like 3 years ago.
Well, that's when Highlands went on their decline. So
it is interesting There's no doubt. But, if you understand the geography of Kentucky, you
4th
understand
down and 10
that,
the Colerain
that,
Cardinals.
that Covington Catholic is completely on the other side of Northern Kentucky from Highland. So, anywho.
But with no borders on enrollment?
Well, they do for Highlands. They do not for Cub Cap,
4th
obviously.
down and 10.
Why do you...
No one cares.
There's a speed pitch back to 21. He's going to try and get wide. He's not going to have enough for the first down. He's going to take it down to the 15-yard line. Going to be about 6 yards shy. It'll be a turnover on downs for the Cardinals.
In a game relevant to the Colerain Cardinals.
Yes.
4 and out for Euclid. Turnover and down. St. Ed's gets the ball back. However, their game is still in the third quarter.
Wow. That's an interesting game. Euclid is a team that is usually loaded with talent. Haven't always been able to put it together. Surprised to see them score 28 points on St. Edward.
To the Glenvilles of the early 2000s.
I would say they're probably, I think that's fair. Maybe they're a little better. I think they're a little bit maybe bigger than Glenville in terms of size. But
quick update: Mentor over McKinley final 36-6.
Yeah, this late in the game, a lot of second teamers in Colerain with only 10 defenders on the field.
Well, that's an interesting strategy.
Well, things happen.
There are only, in fact, 10 guys on the field. And there's a run up the middle, and it's going to be enough for a first down. Maybe if there had been a middle linebacker there. I have no idea if that's even what was missing.
No, I believe they only had 3 linemen in there, so I don't know if they were substituting in thinking pass.
Well, are there still only 10 on the field? There comes number 31. They play. Who's that?
If I taught my son anything in his life, is always stand next to the coach. So when he looks around to put somebody in, you're always making eye contact. Me, coach.
Number 5's got it again. Runs into the middle.
He tells you that, and then Rick Haynes looks right at you and says, "What are you doing? You're not going to the game."
20 seconds left in this one, folks, and it's all over as both teams line up at the 50-yard line. Your Colerain Cardinals are victorious, move to 12-0 on the season with a 48-14 victory over the Milford Eagles. They will advance and play next week in a site to be determined at 7 p.m. for the Region 4 Championship in Division 1 against,
more than likely,
the Elder Panthers. For Brian and Brandon Wyatt, this is Chris Simonitis with WeAreColerain.com. You can catch the Waycross replay schedule online. We'll see you next week. Cardinals, most likely Panthers, Region 4 Championship. So long, and take care.